Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
It is the day after Christmas, and the Jets and the Patriots will battle on Sunday. We'll talk about that, and let's be real, we'll talk about the future of the Jets, because that's way more important. Will Parkinson will join us. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super Chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go. Here on a Football Friday, we are presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas holiday. Happy New Year, all that. Happy holidays. Thanks for being part of our show. I'm going to be the Santa Claus of the Asmaniac community at the end of the show. We will raffle away our 3 signed items in this week's raffle. We pushed it a few days from our normal Tuesday slot because of the fact we haven't done as many shows this week around the holidays. But at the end of the show, your chance to win a signed Vinny T jersey. Signed football by each member of the New York Sack Exchange, and a signed Nick Mangold jersey. So make sure you enter the raffle. We'll give you a chance until the end today to join, and a little 2-for-1. If you enter during this stream, you're entered in next week's raffle, which will include a grand prize of a signed Darrelle Revis jersey. And how about this for another prize? A signed Don Maynard Hall of Fame inscription football. More to come, but want to do something nice for the diehards who are still locked into Jets content in late December in the midst of a 3-12 and soon to be 3-14 season. With that, we say hello to the host of the Turn on the Jets podcast, part of the Badlands Podcast Network. He's celebrating 5 years as the host of that very podcast. It's our guy, Will Parkinson, who joins us now. Will, congrats on the 5 years with the Turn on the Jets pod. And it was hilarious to see the initial email that you sent to Joe Caparoso to start hosting that podcast. But congrats, man. Ton of episodes. Hey, had a great one the other day with Rich Samiti, which was an awesome listen. So appreciate you hopping on today with us.
Yeah, of course. It's 5 long years. I think, what are we at? 2 and 22, 6. They haven't broken 30 wins. 25.
No.
Have they even broken 25? Let's do the math right here. 2020, 2, 2021, 4. So we're at 6. Back-to-back 7s, right? So we're 20 and then 23. They haven't even gotten to 25 wins in 5 years.
Would you be willing to step down from the pod if the Jets were guaranteed a playoff season next year?
Can I be selfish and say no?
You can do whatever you want, man. It's your livelihood.
Yeah, no, it's been awesome. It was cool. I was reading back. Joe texted me. He's like, "I'm going to put the email you sent me." And I was like, "Oh God, what did I write in that?" I don't even remember doing that. But my grammar is terrible. A couple of comments were like, You do a great job. And then we're like, your grammar stinks. And I was like, guys, this is why I podcast and I'm not a writer.
That's why I pod and do radio shows as well. I want to get into the game Sunday for a little bit, but let's be real. Yeah. You know, I mentioned we're sponsored by FanDuel. The line as of now is 13.5. This game is so bad, folks. Will might not actually go, which is crazy. It does feel low to me. I'm with you. I think New England should roll in this one. But as far as the offseason, all the focus is going to be centered around quarterback. And of course, this game between the Giants and the Raiders Sunday is huge for Jet implications in the draft. But I'd be remiss if we didn't start with the story that's emerging seemingly out of Baltimore. We did the Joe Burrow conversation earlier in the year, and who knows how that ultimately will play out. But Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, that is something Jet fans should pay attention to. And I'm not sitting here saying the Jets should do whatever it takes to get Lamar if he's available, but the Jets will be discussed with any quarterback option, especially someone as accomplished as Lamar, because of the fact no team has more resources over the next 2 years than they do with the 5-1s. So this story comes out in the Baltimore Sun that highlighted the relationship being fractured potentially between Lamar and the Ravens organization, including the head coach, John Harbaugh, and his future is very much murky at this point with just 2
Will
games to go.
McDonald and Mason Taylor both out.
Well, and the line's about to move. So make sure you take the Patriots now if you're going to try and profit on this game Sunday. But, just to finish my point, people can see it on the screen there. There's a full story in the Baltimore Sun. People are talking. So I'm not saying Lamar is going to be traded. I do know that he has a $74.5 million cap hit next year. And the last time they had to do a contract negotiation, their GM, Eric DeCosta, said it was the toughest negotiation of his life. Now you have a year where he's been banged up for a lot of the season. I want your thoughts on Lamar, what his future, and whether or not you think the Jets would be interested in Lamar Jackson if there is a scenario where he's actually made available in a trade.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm laughing I got a lot of, Jake, you'll appreciate this. There was a lot of usually people are quite nice in the comment sections and whatever, but for whatever reason, my pod on Christmas Eve, everyone got really fired up about quarterback and whatever. And one of them was like, you're making excuses. They're not tanking right now. And I was like, okay. I mean, everything they've done the last 2 months has been pretty aggressively tanking. And then I just look at the injury report, and Mason Taylor's missed 3 weeks with a mysterious neck injury. Garrett Wilson got shut down with a bone bruise. Will McDonald's obviously going to be shut down now with, he's been banged up, but whatever. Point being, I laugh. Look, I think you obviously would do your due diligence on Lamar and see what the realisticness of what's his body like? What do the injuries look like over the last couple of years, especially this year where it feels like, Jake, it's not just that he's been hurt this year and constantly getting injured. It's been for the first time I remember, at least, and maybe I'm wrong, but it's the first time I remember Lamar getting actually just not breaking every tackle or even being able to get tackled. He's still an amazing player. He's still an MVP, candidate every single year. He's a guy who probably should have won the last MVP the last 3 years, right? But it was a little concerning this year. I'm not going to lie, watching between the stories about just what's going on in Baltimore, and him and Harbaugh obviously are at odds, and the hamstring and the ankle, and now it's the ribs. And it just, I don't know, I know he was injured in that Jets game, but that Jets game left a bad taste in my mouth. And then it was I know they lost and whatever, but I don't know. I think he wasn't as explosive as I was used to it. And maybe it's just a down year. He's, back-to-back years. The biggest issue, I think, with Burrow and Lamar right now is just they're 2 MVP level guys. Lamar's obviously more accomplished in the league, and Burrow's, I guess, quote unquote, gotten further in the playoffs. But it just, I don't know. It's hard to stomach in a lot of ways trading 4 or 5 first-round picks for either guy, knowing the injury history, especially the recent injury history, Jake. It's it's not just, hey, they didn't torn ACL in college. It's Burrow's missed a lot of time, and and Lamar's missed a lot of time this year, and it's sporadically he comes back, then he's not. So yeah, of course you'd be interested in Lamar. He's a goddamn MVP, Jake. We've been watching utter dog shit for a long time. I do wonder if the Ravens who are one of the smartest organizations, and I feel this way about Harbaugh, by the way. I'm on an island by myself I'm not giving John Harbaugh the keys to a franchise right now. No question, you get everything type of guy. He's obviously a better coach than Glenn is right now. But it would be concerning if the Ravens, who are, again, one of the smartest organizations, are yeah, you can have Lamar. It's why? He's a 28-year-old in his prime MVP quarterback in a tough division. That's my only kind of situation there. Again, I'd be interested, obviously, Jake. I'm just saying, then when you have trepidation, it's when the Rays are willing to move off of a young pitcher, you're what the hell's wrong with their arm? Why are you willing to move off this guy?
I think for me, I'd want to know the cost. If I'm betting on, though, and look, I don't think either Lamar or Joe Burrow will be the Jet quarterback next year. But if I had to bet on one I'd prefer, to me, it's still Burrow, because I think his game, I know there's injury concerns with both, but Lamar's game is predicated on his athleticism, his ability to run. He's obviously a good pocket quarterback. He's really improved in that area, and he is a very good quarterback, even if he couldn't run. But he's special when he can run. And I don't know how that ages, right? He's been banged up a lot. Is he going to be able to do that as he starts to approach age 30 and beyond? Joe Burrow, he could be good for the next decade. We just watched Phillip Rivers with a dad bod come off the couch after not playing for 5 years and look better than any Jet quarterback in most of the games this year, and 2 starts with 6 total practices behind him, right? So Burrow, to me, he's that smart. He's that talented as just a thrower of the football from the pocket. that I'd bet on him over Lamar. Again, I'd take either one, obviously, but it depends on the cost. I don't want to trade away. If I have 5 ones over the next 2 years, I don't want to trade 4 of them for Lamar Jackson. Would I be interested in maybe 2 and then some? Sure. But I think there's a risk with a guy who's been banged up a lot in his career. And I understand how great he is, but you're right. If the Ravens were willing to actually move on from him, that would be a red flag for me.
Yeah, again, I am not going to sit here. I was banging the table in 2022 for them to sign Lamar and force the Ravens' hand to go give up. Like, I would have given up, done the 250 fully guaranteed and the, whatever, it was 2 first-round picks at the time. Like, I wanted the Jets to be like, here, you guys have to go pay, go match that contract and like kind of call their bluff. And obviously they didn't do that, and no team did, and the Ravens got away with it. But like, again, I'm obviously would be interested in Lamar. I wonder, like, what's for Lamar and Burrow. It's the same question of like, what's the realistic value and what these organizations, rightfully or not, they're going to want for these guys who are both in their primes, in their 20s. Like, Burrow's obviously a guy who's, again, like, got into a Super Bowl and things like that. Lamar's won a gazillion MVPs, and he's been most of the years probably one of the 2 best players in the NFL. I just, again, wonder, like, I don't know, Jake. I kind of like, it's hard with the 2 veterans where it's not like Rodgers where the value is weird and Favre where it was, a weird value because of guys that were threatening to retire, and, how good were they still? Even like Stafford was worth 2 1s in Goff, but Stafford was 34, 35 and never was on the same level as what Burrow and Lamar, especially Lamar's. Like, Stafford's never, this is the first year I think Stafford's probably going to win an MVP. Like, Lamar rightfully should have at least 3 by the age of 28, right? So the Jets should obviously be interested. They have no quarterback right now. You dream and hope that Mendoza, Moore, Simpson, whoever it is, would sniff the category of where these guys are at in their career. So I just, like, would it be hard to part with more than like 2 or 3 ones for either guy? Probably, because the rest of the roster is so bad right now. But it is what it is. I don't know. It's like hard to kind of consolidate an answer, because I just don't know how realistic they actually are to get moved, or is it just like disgruntled guys that want coaching changes or ownership changes or whatever it may be?
It's going to be fascinating with Lamar because of Harbaugh's future. Would they choose the coach over the player? And then what's the Ravens' plan at quarterback? And the one thing with this column, it sounds like someone clearly inside the Ravens organization was talking to this journalist.
You see a Reddit story, Jake, with that Justin Madubuike is just retired and living in Texas, and that Lamar and Harbaugh don't speak, and all this. There was a really weird, one of the players' ex-girlfriends just basically ratted out all of this stuff going on in the Ravens. Very weird. A lot of turmoil with the Ravens right now.
There's just a lot of smoke around that situation. We know it was really bad the last time they had to negotiate a deal, and they're going to have to redo his contract because they're not going to move forward with their cap hits currently being what they are. So, I mean, if they can't renegotiate the deal, that's when you would get like a trade. And I mean, look, the Jets should make a call and inquire. I don't know if ultimately it would make sense. I would prefer for them to obviously draft their own guy and get it right. But that kind of brings me to where I want to go next, Will. There's zero evidence to say that this Jet coaching staff has any idea how to develop a franchise quarterback, identify and then develop. We have a running back who is currently our quarterback's coach. They struck out as badly as you could strike out on Justin Fields. And it's not just that they tried the lottery ticket. It's guarantee him $30 million and then say he's never been coached properly. We're going to let him play quarterback. We're going to coach him up. And not even just Fields. There's very few players in this team who you could say have been coached up and have exceeded our expectations. If anything, guys we knew were good football players have all regressed. So, like, part of me is like, yeah, if you get the veteran, at least Lamar's developed already, Burrow's developed already. But on the other hand, you obviously want to do it through the draft because then you get the guy on the rookie deal. So it's a conundrum. But as far as the coaching staff goes, how are we feeling about this staff with 2 games to go? And in all likelihood, I doubt Glenn's getting fired. He's going to be back for another year.
Yeah, no, Glenn's I said this in the pod on Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever it was. I really feel like we underrate how much pull he has in the organization for them having to deal with trade sauce. Like, what are you giving up a cash cow in terms of jersey sales, marketability, sauce on every commercial, and all these different things? And a guy that, like, remember the whole pre-draft, like, with the sauce chain and everything, like, to be able to give him that extension, convince Woody to, spend the money and then trade him right away, to me means Glenn's got a lot more pull than I think any of us even really realize. I feel like I feel unsure on the staff, right? I think there's some reasons, at least to be optimistic. I think the track record, wherever Glenn goes, the first year is usually pretty awful. And then it progressively gets far better. I used the example the other day that he was a part of that Saints staff that, Jake, I know we remember the Saints as just always being 13 wins. Like, that was not the case from, I think, 12 through 16. They were just like a proverbial 7-9, shitty NFC South team. That's what they were. And they had that awesome draft in 2017, Glenn's second year, Dennis Allen's second year. Sean Payton got revitalized, and they went to being a 12, 13 win team every year. So, I know we used the Detroit example, and that's always the one that I understand why people are going to use, but I feel like everywhere Glenn's gone, it's taken a bit of time. So again, I know that's people don't want to hear that, and I totally understand, man. I'm at every game. I podcast at this crap 3 days a week. I know how frustrating it is sitting through this, and I don't think the intention was to be a full tank this year. I think it was supposed to be a competitive rebuild. They lost some games early that they probably feel like in a different year they should have won, Pittsburgh and Denver specifically, and probably even one of the Miami or Bucks games, but they've rightfully blew it up. So I feel confident in the aspect of they've recognized mistakes and they've corrected them really quickly. You hope that the Wilkes firing means they're going to, react, and they'll be able to have a really good defensive coordinator in here, whether it's Glenn calling plays, whether it's a Jim Leonard, it's Al Harris, it's Jim Schwartz, whatever it may be. That'd be a huge upgrade. They have all this draft capital, all this money, and they've done really well in the trade market. So from that aspect, I feel good about their process, I guess. At their second at bat with everything has felt better so far. But yeah, man, they've still won 3 games and they've gotten punched in the mouth a ton. And there's a reason. And I know I'm much more positive than you are in the staff, and I get it. But I think everyone would agree, it's been concerning, some of what we've seen. I also I'm really excited at some point to not watch games where it's Brady Cook to Jelani Woods with tight end over being, Stone Smart having to that stuff's just hard to watch. It feels like a 4th preseason game. So, I don't know if I can fully judge anything right now based on the roster, but also at the same time, you'd like to see a little bit more, especially the defensive side of the ball, even in a change in, a change in defensive coordinator. They were better in the first half and they just sat in zone and eventually got picked apart. So I don't know if that's just talent, scheme. There's nothing really creative, Jake. So I feel fine. But they need to show, and Rich brought this up, unfortunately, Gunn can't really do anything outside of a good defensive, coordinator hire and a quarterback coach hire. Outside of that, Glenn can't really win the fan base over until September next year. It's going to be the organization can, from quarterback and different things, get excitement back. But right now, till they win games, no one really cares.
So I like having you on because you're more positive on this coaching staff than I am, obviously. But I'm watching the games yesterday. Here's what concerns me. I'm watching the Chiefs go out there and play the Denver Broncos, a team that's going to be the 1 seed in the AFC. Give them a real game. Show a real competitive fight with their 3rd-string quarterback. I'm watching yesterday, Brian Flores single-handedly helped that Vikings team win a game for 6 turnovers with Max Brosmer as the quarterback of his team. And then you have the Lions, right? And that's where I wanted to go next. We always bring up the Lions. How much of the Lions was they had the best offensive mind in the sport coordinating that offense with Ben Johnson? We saw what Goff looked like yesterday. And yes, the Lions are still scoring a lot of points this year, but their time of possession and efficiency is way down from what it was the last couple of years with Ben Johnson or without Ben Johnson being there this year. So, to me, there's just some real concerns that I get it. They're basically tanking without tanking, but can you look like a football team for a little bit? I guess you could say maybe they did for a half against New Orleans, but then they got destroyed. And again, Aaron Glenn doesn't call plays on defense. He doesn't call plays on offense. All these top coaches come in. They're an expert on their respective side of the ball. Yeah. You look at the numbers of Glenn's defenses in Detroit. They weren't even that good. So I'd rather him just hire a Jim Schwartz. So we know we have at least a accomplished, proven DC. There's just a lot of just red flags with this staff. And I'm not saying fire him because I know he's not getting fired, but why would I not expect this team to have a miserable year next year, win their 4 or 5 games, 9 wins through 2 years, and we're having the conversation around who's the next head coach in 2027. Like, that's the concern, I think, for a lot of Jet fans.
Yeah, no, look, and that's why it's hard to, like, in some ways it's hard to defend it. And I'm frustrated too. Like, I think people just, like, assume that, like, I don't get frustrated. Like, I get more frustrated than most of you, I promise. I think the biggest issue for me is there's a couple crucial hires that need to be had that need to be, like, early, Jake, January, like, before we get to Indy, before we get to Mobile. Like, I mean, again, we'll see, because unfortunately 2 of the guys that I want to be the defensive coordinator are both going to be in the playoffs likely for a while, at the way things are going. They might both be the 1 seeds, but another quarterback mind should be brought in, because whether it's Dante Moore, whether it's Ty Simpson, whether it's Fernando Mendoza, or it's Tanner McKee and Joe Burrow, I don't know, whatever. Pick your veteran name, pick your rookie. Like, the quarterback coach needs to be better. And it's not just on the quarterback coach, because we did this with Zach Wilson. It just turns out Zach Wilson also sucks at football. So, like, it doesn't matter. They could have had Jesus himself coaching Zach Wilson. He wouldn't have been very good. But you would give yourself as many chances as possible, right, Jake? Like, as many at-bats as you can.
But, like, his hires have been Steve Wilkes, which you already admitted was a mistake by firing him.
Engstrand was a good hire. I think Banjo's obviously turned out to be a great hire. He's gotten some of the position coach. Like, I want to see more.
What does Charles London do? Why is he qualified to be a quarterback coach? And the head coach said we're going to coach up Justin Fields. Took a shot at Mike Tomlin's staff by saying he's never been coached properly, even though Mike Tomlin was 4-2 with Justin Fields a year ago and still benched him, by the way. So there's just a lot of red flags, man. Like, we all want Aaron Glenn to succeed if you're a real Jet fan, but I'm just not going to sit here and, like, just, like, simp for the guy when I have, like, legitimate concerns whether or not he has any clue what he's doing.
I know. It's funny. I said this before. Someone's pointed out that, like, Glenn's going to ruin our draft. Like, I don't know. Do you not like Armand Membu and Mason Taylor and Ozari Thomas? Because, like, that doesn't really make a lot of sense, in my opinion. It's a hard dynamic too, Jake, because it's not the same as Mike T and Mangini, but in a lot of ways it is, where, like, Muji's the GM, but Glenn has final say on everything. So for the good and the bad, you know, it is what it is. But no, man, look, the Fields thing was the right process. It was the contract's the problem. It's not even about that they signed Fields. Everyone, I think, was on board with, like, let's give it a shot. Like, what do we have to lose? This is a bridge year, no matter what. Like, there was no, unless they were going to take Dart at some point. This was always going to be a bridge year, but you know, Fields got a hit in that Buffalo game and just turned into I'm not going to go down this route, but I wonder what it would have looked like if Fields could have, you know, continued to play. They could have, you know, used more QB run and stuff. Fields stopped running after that Bills game, and it was over. And it just got progressively worse and worse, where he just stopped throwing the football and stopped running, which obviously is a disaster. But yeah, man, like, they're going to have a lot to prove. Like, it is what it is. Like, whether you're, like, still optimistic on Glenn, you're out on Glenn, whatever it may be, he's going to be here next year. And they need to start off next year, Jake, and be 3-3 after 6 weeks, where it's like,
they got to be 6-6 through 12 games next year.
Yeah, whatever it is. Like, I'm not asking for them to be 9-2. Like, and whatever. Maybe they go, they trade for Joe Burrow and they get 9,000 draft picks. Yeah, sure, people are going to want to be in that headspace. But, like, can they move to the point where I don't want the 1-8 and then they finish 7 in a row and they miss the playoffs? Like, that's not really what I think. People are looking for, like, consistency throughout the year. Can they just be, like, a normal average team next year that has a couple good wins, has a couple bad losses? Most of the time they're right in it in fourth quarter. They win some, they lose some. Like, that's got to think what people are honestly asking for. Like, just a normal 8-9, 9-8 season where it's like, oh, they're in it. It's competitive football. They've shown true progress, like, you know, they look like a competent team, and next year they can make they have the 3 first-round picks, and if they hit on, you know, some of those, they're going to be an 11-win team competing with Buffalo and New England. Like, that's the progression that needs to be had. It just can't be they went from 3 wins to 6 wins, because unless the 6 wins are with a rookie where he looks amazing, a lot of people are still going to be questioning him. So, got to nail the DC hire. Got to nail probably another some type of senior offensive staff hire. I think, you know, you can argue how it's going to be.
Bart Scott suggested, like, Trent Dilfer as a name.
Yeah, somebody that just comes in and is like, I'm going to babysit. This is why, Jake, by the way, my quarterback room that I predicted was not about people got all mad because I saw Tyrod on there. I want, like, the Jets draft Dante Moore. I'd give Tyrod whatever it takes to have him just be attached to the hip to Dante Moore. This is how you're going to be a pro. They didn't do that with Zach early on enough. And they had it with Teddy and McCown, and they traded Teddy Bridgewater during camp, and then McCown left the year after. So Sam went from like all the support to nothing, and you watch his play, and it's pretty obvious that didn't help. So, yeah, whatever it is, like a serious senior offensive assistant in some fashion. I know they have Scott Turner, but another person there. I would say 2 to 3 defensive hires in addition to defensive coordinator, and maybe 1 or 2 front office hires in addition, just some other senior, people that could come in. I know the Jets have gone young in the front office, which I think is actually exciting. They've embraced analytics more and different things like that, which you'd hope, lead to more success, going forward. But I don't know, like I feel like in a lot of ways, Glenn's done some things that I like. Again, I think that there is true buy-in. I think they have invested in a lot of different, they reset, which we've always kind of been begging for them to actually truly reset. It's just annoying because as you mentioned before, the expectations going into the year should have been communicated differently. And I think they've changed it now, but they botched early on. We're going to win football games right away. We're going to do this competitive rebuild thing, which is impossible. It's such an impossible thing to do. The Yankees did it one time and everyone thinks it's feasible. In 2016, they competitively rebuilt, but they weren't actually supposed to be good in 17. And they got lucky that they had a generational player that's going to go walk into the Hall of Fame and judge. They should have probably just been hey, we need to blow it up. They misevaluated the Super Bowl window, which they were in. We're going to come here and we're going to change the culture. It's a 3-year plan. By year 3, we will be a legitimate contender.
There's no such thing as a 3-year plan in the NFL anymore, though.
No, I mean 3 years of getting to actual
the Lions were 9-8 at the end of year 2.
Yeah, and that's year 3 they went 15-2. That's what I'm saying. Year 1 you're bad. Year 2 you're really competitive, and you're playing competitive games all the way throughout the year. All these guys are developed. In year 3, it's we're in Super Bowl conversation. They need to get to we're in the 7 seed conversation and actually legitimately there, not just from Jets fans, from everybody around the league.
I mean, the problem is though, Will, Robert Saleh in his second year was 6-3 and then 7-4 before it fell apart. And this is not me trying to defend Saleh as this great coach. It's just I think Glenn has been far worse than what Robert Saleh was through his first year, and not even close. I mean, seriously, Robert Saleh won 4 games.
That was a really weird year. They had the weird Titans win, which is really cool.
They also beat Joe Burrow and the Bengals that year, who were in the Super Bowl.
And then
the Jets don't have one good win, not one good win. Dylan Gabriel, Kirk Cousins in the rain, and then Joe Flacco. They don't have one quality win that you could point to.
I know. Yeah, that first all year was odd though. They lost 54-13 to the Bills and by 60 points at New England. It was
look at this roster. They won 4 games with this roster.
Yeah, I know. Hey man, if that roster is now Blake Cashman, Quincy and Sherwood and CJ Mosley, it's just funny looking back at some of these guys. Jesus, Jihad Ward. I was trying to think about Jihad Ward the other day. Yeah, man. Foley still around the league. They had some decent. That team was so young. That was everybody was a rookie or in their second year, and then there's a bunch of 1-year stopgaps. Yeah, man, they're bad. There's no doubt about it. They're bad. They're a bad team, and they got to be better next year. That's why I keep saying it. Unfortunately, nothing's really going to change this year. No one can prove anything that's different.
But people bought in, Will. That's my big thing. They could say, "Oh, we should have got the messaging better." No, the messaging was because they believed it. You had them winning 9 games. There were people who thought that Rich Cimini had them winning 7 or 8 games. People who are around the team, cover the team, have a good feel for the team. We all bought into what Glenn was preaching. He went so far out of his way to just crap all over the previous coaching staff that when you're somehow worse than that staff through a year, it's a major red flag for a lot of Jet fans. And it's why I hope no matter who they take in the draft, they don't screw that quarterback up enough where a year from now, they're able to basically rectify the situation if it, God forbid, is that bad. Like what the Bears were able to do with Caleb. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence has been able to figure out his career. The Titans are now going to try and figure it out with Cam Ward. If you take a quarterback that high and you're already going to be making a coaching change after just a year, it's not what you want to do, but it might be what you have to do. If this team goes out there and goes from 3 wins to 5 or 6 wins next year, that's not enough.
And then, there'll be an appealing job in 27 if that's what the case, right? That's what I keep thinking about is what's the worst case? It sucks next year and they have 3 first-round picks and they're the best job on the market because they still have hundreds of millions in cap space and 3 first-round picks. In some ways, I said this the other day in our Discord. I'm curious if you agree with this. Glenn's kind of the perfect guy for next year. One of 2 things is going to happen, Jake. they're going to be way better, much more like what we would have hoped this year, right? Where they're competitive and like things start to turn around and Glenn's the guy and it's a great story and like we're all pumped that he actually figured it out. Or he's horrible. The Jets are picking in the top 5 again and they have 2 other first-round picks and it's like, oh, cool. This is the year like Kyle Shanahan wants to move on. And it's like, where's Kyle Shanahan want to go? The place with 3 first, you know what I mean? Like
Kyle Shanahan. Do you think he'd ever take a job over Woody?
I'm trying to think of like the whatever thing. Like Glenn's just kind of the perfect guy. He's one of 2 things is going to happen, and either way, it's kind of ideal. Like you either
would Woody fire him? That my other concern is,
he gets a 3rd year, and like he's still bad, but Woody doesn't fire him.
Well, like no, like let's say they go from 3 wins this year. Let's say they win 6 in 2026. Is Woody going to fire him, or is he going to try and be like, I don't want to really pay for another coach. Let me be cheap here.
Well, if they have a young quarterback and the young quarterback looks good, but the rest of the team is not getting better, like maybe. But I don't know. It's weird, Jake. Like Woody's all the way in on guys, and then he just wakes up one morning and he's like, nope. And it's like scorched earth, cuts budgets, fires everybody. Like there's no real like rhyme or reason sometimes.
I had Samini on my show this morning, and he said that Woody's relationship with Glenn is probably the closest he's ever had with a Jet coach before. Yeah. So, again, Glenn's not going to be fired after this year, but what if they suck again next year? Is Glenn going to be able to say, well, we have all these picks, so I got another year?
I think he got Holmes, Will Parkinson losing credibility. What am I losing credibility on? Am I wrong? That he's literally the ideal person. He's either going to suck again, they're going to be 3-win team, or he's going to get way better, and we're going to be like, cool, we don't have to replace the head coach. We actually have all this young talent. We can keep the cohesion with a young quarterback potentially. Like, I don't. People just like want blood, and like I'm sorry to tell you, he's not getting fired. They already fired the DC 14 games in. They've benched the quarterback. They're going to cut the quarterback within a year. They've blown it up. They traded a superstar cornerback. They traded a superstar defensive tackle. They traded the highest paid nickel. They've totally blown this thing up. So I guess I don't understand, Jake, is everyone wanted them to tank, and they were pissed they didn't tank this year. Most people that's what they wanted. Now they're
hold on. Let me stop you though. Yeah. People didn't want them to tank right away.
Some section of the
they started 0-7. That's when people wanted them to start tanking.
Yeah. They actually did it. They did it properly. So now that they're doing it, this stuff's going to look like crap. You know what I mean? It just is like.
But it shouldn't be this bad, is my pushback on that.
It shouldn't. I mean,
they won 3 of 5, and people like you and Caparoso and our guy PK, and I love all 3. I love all 3 of you guys, and I really love you guys' opinions on the team, and you guys are way more positive than me, so it's nice to hear like a different perspective. But like we were lauding, they won 3 of 5. They're playing hard for Glenn, all that nonsense, and then you can't. If you want me to believe that, and I'm trying to get on board as a Jet fan, because of course I want them to win. It's better for everyone when they win. They then no-showed against the Miami Dolphins, a team that's not any good. We're down 21-0.
That's the most frustrating game of the year, and I don't.
But you can't tell me that these wins that were building culture when they then followed that up with the 3 worst games of the year, and now they're doing the full tank. But they weren't doing the full tank against the Miami Dolphins when they no-showed against a division opponent. That if they can't beat Miami twice next year, where are the wins in the AFC East coming from with Drake May and Josh Allen now in your division? It's a real problem.
No, it is. That's what I'm saying. Like my thing is that just nothing's going to change between now and September on the field. So I'm just in my head, I'm like trying to prepare of just like, how can they hit this on the right in the off season? Like that's all that matters at this point. Like nothing's going to change the next 2 weeks. Honestly, they're going to get absolutely murdered tomorrow or on Sunday. And it is what it is. The Patriots are going to lock up the 1 seed in the division in MetLife in front of 90% Patriots fans. And like, hopefully for Woody and Glenn, it's like, yeah, man, like we have a lot of work to do and we need to be, I don't want to spend even at the top of the market on all free agency, but like they need 8. I think I've put now, Jake, between 8 and 11 starters, depending on how you view some of the young guys. They need to fill 4 of those guys in free agency and through trades. They need to fill another 3 to 4 through the draft and understand that like this needs to be way better next year. Like it's not going to be acceptable to be a 5-win team next year. That's like spunky. Like that's not cutting it. They need to be, in NBA terms, they need to be 41-41 and like have a bunch of like they need to be the 2019 Nets, where it's like, oh wow, really young team that was terrible the year before. They have a bunch of new infused talent. They figured it out. They're a fun team to watch. They can compete with anybody. They're not going to win a title, but like they're now an attractive destination for star players. they're an attractive destination for, hey, I want to come play New York. They got something cool going on. Like right now, they don't have that, right? The Jets have they stink. I hope they get to the point where next year, Jake, we're on the show and we're like, hey, man, they're going to miss the playoffs, unfortunately. But like, dude, where
like the Lions, who
Yeah.
were 9-8, the arrow was pointed up.
Yeah, you want to be the team that's like everyone's like, oh, wow, this team is something's here. I think they could get there, but there is a lot of work to do. Like I said, it's not going to be just, it's not just going to be one defensive coordinator hire. It's going to be, wow, day one of free agency, the Jets went out and they signed Tyler Linderbaum and Leo Chenal, and they brought Anzalone over. They linebackers fixed. Wow, the offensive line's now a top 2-3 unit in the league. And they traded for Jesse Bates, who's going to play next to Malachi Moore, and they moved the 5th-round pick for him. Wow, safety's already fixed. Now those things are off the table. They get a quarterback and a receiver, this team going to be humming. Like, that's what you want to get to, not, they went out and they signed, Marcus Davenport to a 1-year, $1 million deal, and that's going to solve the issues. That can't be the solve this year. It just can't be.
I don't know if it's just personnel, though. Like honestly, Quincy Williams didn't just forget how to play football. There's a real problem. Yeah. Everyone got worse on this team.
The Wilkes hire is the biggest thing. I think it's even worse than the Fields thing. The Wilkes hire, the reason the stylistically didn't make sense. Like everything else made sense. Like if you look at all their moves, Jake, outside of Fields and Wilkes, which are obviously been the two biggest disasters, but all the other free agency signings, even good or bad, they've all made sense, right? Like Stevens is a big physical corner. He fits Glenn's kind of mantra and what he wants to be, right? Like they did a bunch of offense, the offensive line and defensive line, moves have all kind of worked and made sense. They all kind of fit the same profile. Like A.D. Mitchell is a good fit for what they want to do on offense. Like you just Mason Taylor can do a little bit of everything. Like a lot of those moves made sense. Malachi Moore is like obsessed with football. Like that's the guys, right? All those guys made like sense with Glenn, like Thomas and Moore, the Membu picks, Taylor. The Fields one was like, we want to try to develop part of his game that he's never developed. And Fields lost the ability to run and then also just sucks at throwing. So like that cratered, and Wilkes ran the most basic, boring scheme when Glenn, where he did have success in Detroit, was high pressure, high man coverage. We're going to play bump and run, press coverage. We're going to beat you up at the line of scrimmage and we're going to hit the quarterback. And the Jets did none of that this year, which is like, I wonder, and Rich said this on I think maybe Kaz or Rich said this last week on the pod, Saleh regretted not calling plays here. I really hope we don't have this conversation in 12 months that Glenn should have called plays, because he admitted he almost.
Saleh was actually a great DC with the Niners. Aaron Glenn's defense
was really good last year, 2 years ago, with they lost 17 people to IR, and like
that was the only good year. I mean, here are the stats. Like the numbers don't lie.
24 is good though to me. Like I don't care about yards allowed.
No, 24 is very good. They were 8th. I look at defensive EPA. They were 8th in
they were really good with a lot of injuries. That's part of why there's like. I was like, wow. I mean, I know people didn't want Glenn to call the plays, and I understand why he didn't, because I think people get trapped in they don't do everything. They lose that. Glenn would have just been a defensive guy, and then everyone would have been freaking out about the offensive side. I like that, like, he's gotten better, I think, in game situations, challenges, timeouts, etc. But, man, like, you wonder, like, hey, if Glenn just calls the defense this year, are they like the 20th best defense instead of 31st? You know what I mean? And like, we're feeling better about going into year 2 about the defense, and like, hey, they need a quarterback and talent, but whatever. I don't know, man. I hope that's not the case. I really do. I really don't want to look back on this regime and be like, Glenn, like 2 times in a row, these guys should have called plays.
I actually have some positive Jet news. I think everyone has seen the story maybe by now about the diehard Jet fan who was asked to be part of a 100K field goal challenge at the game on Sunday. Then when the Jets found out that she's a former college soccer player and a coach, they reversed it, even though they're the ones who asked her. So there's been a big story the last 24 hours or so.
What do you think really happened there?
I don't know, but I just want to let people know the Jets are changing their stance, and they will allow this super fan to be a part of the field goal challenge. So good job by the Jets for rectifying that mistake. Good job by Woody. Her name is Ashley Castellano Gervasi. She's a diehard Jet fan. Her dad has been a season ticket holder forever. He passed away in 2011. They continued to honor his legacy, the family season ticket plan. So it's an amazing story about this fan who was going to get a chance to kick for 100K. And then the Jets, after telling everyone that she was going to be able to kick, reverse course, even though her family spent all this money on tickets to go and support her. And it was a big deal of the last 24 hours, and they did the right thing by letting her kick. So good job by whoever came to their senses and made this happen, because that's the right thing to do.
Yeah, this feels like one of those situations that should not have ever been a thing. Like,
Just again, how do these things happen, man? They need to have a director of common sense. That's the only job. People ask me all the
director of
time about
CS.
a job with the Jet organization. No, I don't want to be the owner. I don't want to be the GM. I want to be the director of common sense. This wouldn't happen. Hassan Reddick, in the midst of a 2-5 season after he held out and quit on the team for the first 7 weeks, we're not showing video of him showing up to practice being like, can't wait to get started, Jet fans. Things like that drive you crazy. It would never happen if I was the director of common sense.
Yeah, that was it's one of those things where, like, technically, like, they weren't wrong, but, like, just you got to be better. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things, Jake, where it's like the technicality, they're not wrong. That was in the rules. She shouldn't have been in, whatever. Cool. I understand. Like, that's what if you want to do that, but like, you got to be better. You got to read the room and say, hey, man, we're 3-12. The building's going to be empty tomorrow because of the way we performed this year. Let's figure it out. Let's make an exception, or let's do a different, situation. Well, like, whatever. We're going to do right by her. We're going to say, hey, you can't kick, but we're going to do X, Y, Z and make sure you're taken care of for life because whatever. Instead, it's just like you got caught doing something dumb and now you have to like reverse course. That's the crap that like I think people get sick of. It's like you can accept one or the other, Jake. They can be a competent organization that unfortunately doesn't win a lot of games, or you're the Chiefs and you're like an incompetent organization that wins a ton of games. We can't just be bad at both. It's super frustrating.
Good job by at least getting this one right. Will, I'll get you out of here, but first I want to play something for you just so you know kind of where I'm at, all right? Here's my message to you to take you into the weekend.
Just don't let go of the rope.
All right, don't let go.
I think my advice to Glenn this offseason will be
resign.
Sorry,
that was too easy.
Let's drop the don't let go of the rope. Let's drop all gas, no brakes. Let's drop the catchphrases.
What about big ships take a while to turn?
Like that one at least makes sense. Like at least theoretically makes sense. I saw someone in the comments ask about the Kamara video about talking about Glenn. I referenced it and I did like 20 minutes on just that segment on the pod. So shamelessly go listen. I talked a lot about it. I referenced it earlier. The Saints were proverbial mediocrity in the NFL at 7-9 post Super Bowl run. They were in like that window of like, they weren't a Super Bowl team anymore, from 08, 09. Glenn gets there in addition to many other people on the staff, Westhoff, Glenn, like that crew, along with Dennis Allen. And they went from 7-9 the first year where I was still like, okay, it's not really getting much better. They had this amazing draft class. Everyone's referenced, the Lattimore, Ramczyk, Hendrickson, all those guys, all 6 guys are amazing. And they turned things around and they went the 4-year run of they were a 12-13 win team every year. So yes, the Jets have to find Drew Brees. Partly that would be helpful, Jake. But more importantly, like if everyone doesn't want to get sick of the Lions examples, that is one example to go back to New Orleans where like things did turn around. And
yeah, but at that point, Sean Payton was already a Super Bowl winner.
Yeah, I know. It's just it got stale, and you hope that like he's seen it both, and not just work in Detroit. He saw it work in New Orleans, where maybe you can use some of what worked there going into year 2, where like you reset the decks. Look, they got to hit on quarterback, man. At the end of the day, none of this is going to matter unless they
Mendoza or Moore. Who's your guy, Will?
At this point, I think Moore offers a higher ceiling.
Yeah, but they got to develop him more.
They got to develop him more, so it's going to be a more patient thing. And then I just don't think they're going to get up to 1 with Mendoza, and he's going to end up going 1. And I think we're going to sit there and go, wow, like Moore's the guy who is he more the Drake May of this class that was like not the 1-1 guy all year, but has the highest ceiling. And the Jets, again, I don't know what happened, man. I suggested a very reasonable quarterback room that they would trade for Jacoby Brissett, and he'd be like what he was to Drake May, where he's like the bridge holder for the first 6 weeks of the season. They had a tie rod attached to his hip, and Moore could play the last 10 games of the year, and you hope he finished 7 to 8 wins because like all together you feel excited. And people are not happy about that. I'm not sure what happened there, but yeah, Moore's as of today, like you want to bet on ceiling. Obviously, as a fan, you want to see if you can get the higher ceiling, but
I want the higher floor. Actually, I don't trust the staff.
I will say I love Ty Simpson, and Rich comped him to more athletic Chad Pennington, and no people close to Ty, and he is like the most perfect New York fit in terms of what he would bring intangible wise. Just have a little question about some of the accuracy issues at times, and like he's still really young in terms of starting quarterback experience. But man, like if they can end up with one of those three guys, dude,
I like him too.
and if they can end up with one of those three guys, and they don't have to go up a hall to get any of those guys in any way, shape, or form, aren't you just feeling like so much better and more excited about next year? Just like, hey, they got that guy, and in my perfect draft, man, Arvell Reese at 3 or 4, Mekhi Lemon with the Colts pick. They trade back up for Ty Simpson, and they get our Mason Thomas or CJ Allen in round 2, and we are fixed. That's 5 starters right there. We fixed it. We fixed the Jets in 2 hours.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is Will Parkinson, 5 years as the host of the Turn on the Jets podcast, which is part of the Badlands Patreon network, and also Will's pod is available for free, though. You don't actually need to pay for it.
Yeah, mine's free. Everything else gets you out your wallets, but
there you go.
Mine's free, luckily.
Well, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. Appreciate you hopping on. I'll talk to you next week, and if you end up going to the game Sunday, God bless.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Merry Christmas to everybody and Happy New Year if we don't talk before then.
Ladies and gentlemen, Will Parkinson. The Jet Tank rolls on Sunday. They are a 13.5-point underdog in this one. Hey, if you tuned in late, I want to make sure we share this a couple times, give people a chance to be a part of it. The raffle is at the end of the show for today. We're giving away a Nick Mangold signed football, a Sack Exchange signed football, and a Vinny Testaverde signed jersey. Those are the prizes. If you enter during this show, you're also entered in raffle 55 next week on the program. Our top prize is a signed jersey by the GOAT, Darrelle Revis, a signed jersey by the Hall of Famer Joe Klecko. I'm sensing a theme. And a signed football by Hall of Famer Don Maynard. Jet Hall of Fame theme raffle. So enter for both today and your chance to win 3 signed items at the end here. I'm going to get to the super chats and the memberships, also your calls. Hope everyone had a great holiday. Appreciate you spending some time with us here on the show. Bronx Jet fan in the raffle. He's in for 5. Taylor says the Jets are making me sad. Give me some hope. Hey, a great quarterback changes a lot. They have a chance to get one of those guys. That gives you hope no matter what. Lou B says, what would it take to get Tanner McKee? I mean, Nick Faria suggested a second. I don't think there's a chance in hell it would cost that. I think maybe at best, if a team really liked him, a third. I don't buy that, though. I'm not in on this Tanner McKee situation. I don't see it. He was a 6th-round pick a few years ago. I've seen nothing when I went back and watched some of these like preseason moments. I'm like, oh, yeah, that guy's going to be great. I mean, I don't buy it. The Jets need to sign a veteran, probably 2 veterans, and then draft Mendoza or draft Moore or Ty Simpson. Angela in the raffle for 1. Thank you, Angela. Appreciate you. K&D in the house says, my Lakers ate Cole last night. Nasty work. Yeah, but the Knicks didn't, baby. Merry Knicksmas. Mike Dems in the raffle for 1. Thank you, Mike. JJ says, Nick game yesterday was awesome. I was looking for you. Oh, man. JJ, you were at the game, too? Would have been fun to run into you. Tyrone in the raffle for 2. What's up, Tyrone? Well, at least we have the Knicks and Kolick. What a game yesterday. Back to the Jets for 2026. Hey, the Knicks could turn it around. The Jets can, too. The problem is I don't think the Jets have the right people in charge necessarily to turn it around, whereas the Knicks, they got it right with their hire at coach and GM to start their turnaround. I think Muji's been okay. I'm encouraged by what he has done, but it's not enough for me to get over my concerns with the head coach and the staff. What offensive coaches is Aaron Glenn going to add to his staff? Because I'm not saying you fire Tanner Engstrand. I don't think he should be fired. But Charles London, some of the other offensive coaches, like the senior offensive assistant is Scott Turner. Could we potentially add another voice to that room if we're going to draft a rookie? That's what I'm looking to see from Aaron Glenn. Joseph Freeman is in the raffle for 1. Thank you, Joseph. Rob says Bills won't need week 17, could rest starters. I don't think the Jets, even if they rest starters, could beat the Bills. It's the last game at that stadium. I don't see it. Now, there is a scenario, though, where the Bills would need that game. No, they'd be playing for seeding, trying to get as high as possible. It will depend on the matchups. Cashmere Black with a $5 super chat. Sauce and Quinnen not making the playoffs with their new teams. Do y'all feel bad for Sauce and Quinnen not ever making it to the playoffs in their careers? Not really, no. I feel bad for Jet fans. Honestly, they're not Jets anymore. I wish them well, but do I feel bad for them? No, I've been rooting against them every week. I want the Jets to have the best draft pick possible. And Sauce hasn't even been playing, so it makes it easier to root against him. Although the Philip Rivers story is so cool, I'd love to be able to root for him, but I can't do it. Jets first and foremost. Everyone else, go F yourself. That's how it will always be. Rick Kent checking in. Happy holidays from Rick Kent. 5 memberships. Let me see if I can pull these. Here's who got a membership from Rick. Dizzy Jazz, Mr. Big Skins, RCJM8, Joe D9190, and Tupi23, all receiving a gifted membership. Franzanski writes in, appreciate you, Jake. It's been a tough season, but we're still here. Hey, if there's one thing we know how to do as Jet fans, is survive these years. Not for everyone. We find a way. All right, raffle at the end of the show. Friday Jones says AG is a Jet, and we should root for him to turn this around. All of you who want to bleep on the team after 1 year should find a different team to root for because you don't know football, the Jets. Friday Jones, respectfully, F off. Do not tell Jet fans who are rightfully pissed with a 3-14 season that they should root for a different team. Because I got news for you, Friday Jones. If Aaron Glenn is a successful head coach, he'd be a big outlier. He'd be a big outlier. All the ones who were successful on this list, they were offensive guys. Campbell, Taylor, Shanahan. And the appeal of, the Jets are trying to be the Lions. Well, how much of the Lions is Ben Johnson? Seriously. Their turnaround started when he became the offensive coordinator there in 2022. And Aaron Glenn's not Kyle Shanahan. Sorry. And Zach Taylor had a Hall of Fame quarterback in Joe Burrow. Still has him. So, sorry, call me skeptical, all right? And don't tell any Jet fan who is questioning this coach that they should root for a different team because they don't know football. If anything, you don't know football. You don't know your ass from your chin. If we're being honest. Friday Jones, please. Leon says, Jets will be a 3-5 win team next season. People will be discussing Glenn's upcoming firing and Tankathon Christmas time 20. I mean, I can't sit here and say you're wrong for feeling that way, Leon. I hope not. Big fella says, as much as I love Lamar, he's my fantasy and Madden QB. He doesn't fit our timeline. I wouldn't trade 3-1 for Lamar. I wouldn't. I worry about his body breaking down as he gets older. I would do it for Burrow, not Lamar. I think Burrow's game ages better. 44-year-old Philip Rivers off the couch is carving up defenses. Burrow could do the same thing. He's a true pocket QB, and he's smart. He can win with his mind. That matters to me. Hey, shout out to D Stern. He writes in, Jake's the man. Thanks for helping me take my boys to their first NFL and Jet game. Warn them it's going to be a disaster, but they're pumped. Hey, that's awesome, D Stern. D Stern's one of the listeners who is receiving tickets from other Jake Asman Show listeners that were donated so people like D Stern could take their kids to their first game. They don't know the Jets are bad. They're going to have a good time regardless. So that's what it's all about. Hope you have a great time, D Stern. Great seats you got too. So big thank you to everyone who has donated tickets throughout the year. This was the earliest we probably had to start giving away tickets to fans, which sucks. I wish no one had tickets they were sending me to give away because they were using them because they wanted to go to the game. But, try to make the best of it during the holiday season. Kyle Clifton says, so just fire Glenn now. Look, if Woody Johnson could hit the reset button, logically it would make sense if you're going to take a quarterback coming up, right? I get it. But I don't think he's going to get fired, Kyle. I know. We have to root for Aaron Glenn to improve as a coach. Jimbo checking in. He's in the raffle for 5 again. We got 3 signed items up for grabs on the show today. Mangold football, Sack Exchange football, Vinny T jersey. Enter and your chance to also qualify for next week's raffle. Reva signed jersey, Maynard signed football, Colecco signed jersey. Hey now. Afternoon, Jake and the Asmaniacs. Hope everyone had a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Today's my birthday. Let me in the raffle. Simpson 1A, Mendoza 1B for me. Also, do you think we trade up for another player like linebacker or DT? Hey, congrats to Jimbo on entering the raffle on his birthday. Good luck, Jimbo. Hopefully you win one of the prizes. As far as your Question, do I think the Jets could trade up for a linebacker or a defensive tackle? I hope not. Not for a DT. I look, ideally the Jets could get one of these quarterbacks without having to use that Colts pick, so they could just take a good player there or even trade out and get extra picks. That's a possibility. Could they trade up for someone? I mean, if there's someone they love, they have the 2 seconds they could use. So that's possible. Mike says possibly 0 interceptions the whole season. Amazing. Go AG. Again, how could we sit here and say, yep, we have all the faith in this coach when his area of expertise was as a former player, he was an elite corner who had 40 plus interceptions in his career. And the Jets don't have an interception this season. It's mind-boggling. It's unacceptable. How people could have confidence, I don't know. I mean, again, I hope like hell I'm wrong. But, I mean, there's stuff like that. It's just like, huh? How? What? Backporch Sports says, how do you feel about Jet fans wanting defense at both picks in the first round? I personally think it's delusional. Quarterback and weapon has to be the picks. How do I feel about back-to-back defense with the first-round picks? Disgusting. Smelly, gross, grotesque.
That had a kick to it.
Absolutely not. If they don't go quarterback, we're wasting our time. We're wasting our time. Seriously. They need to take a quarterback. Enough. Defense. Shoot me if they go defense with both the picks. Oh, my God. Shoot me. In the face immediately.
Chuck Wagon's always cooking, which it takes. Chuck Wagon's even cooking at the game. Chuck Wagon hates McDonald's, but he's headed home to cook. It's time once again for Chuck Wagon.
Hey Jay, can you hear me?
Hello, Chuck Wagon.
Oh, good. These work great.
Is that what you got for Christmas?
Yeah, I got these for myself. Yes.
Do you think that this will improve the quality of your calls and cooking segments on the show going forward?
Maybe because I won't have to worry about those earbuds maybe falling in while I'm cooking. So yeah, I hope these really help. For the draft, I think they should go quarterback, and then for the second pick, what's best available between a linebacker, edge, and wide receiver, whichever prospect is the much higher, better player. So, but definitely they need to go quarterback with the first pick. So that's a no-brainer for me. Training for Lamar, hell, I would never say no to that, but it just all depends on compensation and what the Ravens would want. I would rather have the Ravens coach than their quarterback for next year. It's not going to happen, but if I only had to choose one, I would rather have Harbaugh than the quarterback.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Mhm.
Are you factoring compensation here? Like if it's a 1-for-1 swap, like sure, I'd take Harbaugh over Aaron Glenn immediately and let Harbaugh oversee the quarterback selection and go from there. But if you're talking specifically about like I'd have to trade for Harbaugh versus trading for Lamar, I would need to know the costs. But in a vacuum, yeah, I mean, if I could just replace Glenn with Harbaugh in a second, I think every Jet fan would do that.
I agree. I mean, I know that the Jets traded. God, I can't think of his name. He went to the Chiefs. My God.
Andy Reid?
No, he was on the Jets, and the Jets
Arm
traded.
Edwards?
Yes, thank you. God, my head. I have
Much
too much
eggnog
head.
yesterday?
No, it's just my head hurts. It's probably a lot of pressure in the front of my head, but haven't taken anything, but I probably should. I just can't think today. Sorry. Yeah, I don't think compensation for a coach is as big as, say, a player. So I don't think it would cost as much. But again, it's rare to see a coach being traded for a draft pick. So I just wouldn't know what kind of compensation Baltimore would want for Harbaugh.
You okay, Chuck Wagon? The chat's really concerned about you.
I'm good. Thank you, though.
Make sure you drink some water, all right? Hydrate.
Yeah, I've been drinking coffee. Yeah.
Well,
haven't
that
had water.
dehydrates you. That's the opposite.
Yeah, but I want to be awake, so I just wanted the caffeine.
I see. Well, I'll tell you what. Let me bring on my health guy, and he'll give you some advice.
That had a kick to it. Yeah, I just got done eating a Baconator for a little lunch break. How do you, Chuck Wagon? How you feeling, kid?
See?
You all right?
Yeah.
You all right?
Fine.
Well,
you
I'll tell you what.
The microphone
I'll
doesn't
tell you what.
help me.
I'll tell you what. Try and go get some of that NyQuil, but get the Walmart version. It's $11.97, and I'll tell you what. Don't try that Dayquil. You know why? Ugh. Tastes like gut. Tastes like vomit. But if you want a good one, go with NyQuil. Go with the nighttime version. It will kick your ass. And right now, I'm about to jump on this bus right now because I'm about to swing back over to the studios because, after a good morning workout at Walmart, gotta do something about it. But time for me to get on the bus, and I'll get you right back. Give me about 10, 15 minutes, and we're going to kick it up a bit. All right? All right. How we all doing? What's going on, brother? Just another day. Just another day. Yep, we just got on the bus right now. Yep, just getting out of Cicero. Yep, you know what time it is. It's a beautiful day. Hey, Merry, how you doing there? Merry Christmas to you.
I wanted to talk to Jake. Jake and Nick talk to you.
Oh, I seen you. Very nice. Still looking like the man.
Yeah, if I shaved better, I missed a few spots.
Hey, you know what the funny line is from the best line of the year? I still gotta say, yeah, shut the fuck up.
Oh,
that's the best hit of the year. That's definitely got to go in for the top. Got to go in for the best. Award-winning hit of the year because you knocked Gary on his ass with that one.
Right. Oh.
Whenever when you were like, hey man, why are you picking on Olive Oil like that? And Gary's an asshole for doing that because that's his way of life. So how was your Christmas, Bobby?
Very good. We went over to my parents' house. We had chicken parmesan, angel hair pasta, and for dessert we had turkey pie and Italian bread too. And
wow!
It was $100 each. So.
Holy shit! Amazing.
Yeah.
Well,
they couldn't go shopping, so they gave us $100 in the hospital.
Well, just make sure. I was gonna say you better get your horns ready for that. Happy New Year.
Oh, I'm gonna have a 4-hour show that day, so.
I see that. So let's see. For Christmas, what did I get for Christmas? Oh, I got a lot of things going my way. It's already on the way in the mail today.
All right, that's good. I'm better, Beast. How you doing?
Hey, Hey, we sang you that Whopper song. Hey, Jake, let's give him that Whopper song. Whopper, Whopper at BK. We're on the move at BK. Have it your way. You rule.
You rule, yeah.
Hey, I hope you get that job at Burger King, my friend.
What a moment when Beast and Bobby Midnight share the screen together. Hey, Chuck Wagon, take Beast advice, all right? Take care of yourself.
Yeah, I will. And my God, he was so loud.
Hang in there, Chuck.
Really loud.
Hang in there.
That had a kick to it.
All right, more of your calls coming up. We just saw Bobby, so we'll go to him, and then we have a Kyle Clifton call coming shortly.
Oh, that's with my shoe, right?
Yes.
Okay, see, okay. At least you have me on full screen. I wanted to show you something. Okay, what day is today?
Today is the 26th.
Okay. And then read this. See what it says right on the card?
I can't. You keep moving it. You got to hold it steady in front of the camera. It says Robert Woodruff, 12/26/25, 9:45, o'clock.
Podiatry.
Okay. Yes.
So Michael drove me over there today, right? And I get there. No. The guy from the wound clinic, you know where the wound clinic is?
Do I know? I don't know. I don't know where it is.
No, when I go there, I should say. So that guy screwed up. So I have an appointment Tuesday at the wound clinic at podiatry at 9:30. So I have to go Tuesday now.
So they screwed it up.
Yeah, I have to wait a couple. It's only like how many days from now? 4, right?
So how's your foot doing? Is it urgent?
Yeah, well, it's getting better. They're still looking at it. It's you know why? Because I'm a diabetic, it takes a little longer to heal. So that's the problem.
But it's not an emergency if you didn't go to the clinic today, is it?
No, it was the podiatrist. They wanted to look at my feet every week. But I don't know. The Steve just messed up. But I wanted to ask you a few questions. Are you setting up a Nick thing soon?
I don't have the date for it, but my plan is to do something again.
Okay, me and Mike want to go down to see you.
You told me.
Yeah. Oh, I did already. One more question. In the afternoon, are you gonna have her?
Hey,
on?
Jake West says, Bobby, show us your snaggletooth. I need cheering up after listening to Jake shit on Glenn for an hour. I'm
I know I look like I don't have the same tooth. So this afternoon, will you have her on today?
Hey, Big Islander fan says 4 days is a long time for a diabetic. You should be taken in right away.
Well, I know the doctor Steve screwed it up. So is the girl gonna be on tonight?
I don't know who you're talking about.
Olive oil.
That's not her name.
I forgot her name.
No, she will not be on. Her name is Ariel.
Ariel. Okay,
her name is not Olive Oil.
Oh, that's a thing, right?
You think a human being would be called Olive Oil?
No, okay, it's Ariel. Yeah,
that's a cooking product.
Didn't she have a show with the other guy? What's that guy that looks muscular?
Yeah, I think it's baking soda.
No, no, the guy who he's like in the army or something. He's big. He always had a show. Was he on the show?
I think we got to address something, Bob. The fact that you didn't know Olive Oil's name here, maybe Gary was right. Maybe you were just trying to jump her bones, to quote him.
Mm-mm.
You know,
yeah.
I wanted to jump a bone, you asshole. She's very attractive.
Yeah.
I wanted to jump a bone.
It's becoming a trend.
No, she said she likes me, and I think her dad likes me too, she said so. But how are you doing? How was your Christmas?
It was great.
What do you get?
I got a Knicks victory over the Cavs, down 17 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that was a good game, right? Yeah.
Oh, great game.
And what else do you get?
Hey, Boomtown says Bobby Bone Jumper Woodruff is your new name.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Boomtown. I love you too. A happy Boxing Day today. It's Boxing Day up there for me.
How are you celebrating?
I don't celebrate. No, Canada does. Canada, Australia.
You're in Vermont. You're basically in Canada.
I'm not in Canada. No. So what else do you get for presents?
Not much.
Oh.
I worked.
Me and Michael got $100 each from my parents.
Nice. What are you going to spend it on?
Well, I still have it. I don't know yet. So, yeah.
Hookers?
No.
Strippers?
No. Did you go visit your parents this week at all?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, how are you like my call to you and
What's up with you and not knowing anyone's name?
I know. He was a nice guy, wasn't he? Huh?
You know, no one knows who you're talking about. Until you remember who this person's name is, I'm not going to help you out.
Oh,
you said you were dying to talk to him, and you don't even remember the guy's name you spoke to on the phone.
I know. He was on. He played for the Jets.
Who?
I can't remember his name.
You called into a radio show that I did with a former Jet. You said you were dying to talk to him, and you can't even remember the guy's name.
Yeah. What was that called? He was a good guy.
Bobby, thanks for the time. Merry Christmas.
Well, Bobby Midnight, he was hoping that he'd talk to her.
Why does he want to talk to her?
He's a big fan of her work.
That's why he wants to talk to
her.
Are
you saying Bobby Midnight is a horn dog?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Once you remove the idea that you want to have sex with them, most women don't really have anything interesting to say. And that's not a shot at Ariel or anyone in particular. It's just
here we go,
an
folks.
observation.
Here we go.
Once you take sex out of it, they don't really have that much that's interesting to say. And especially if they're like an 8 or above, they're useless because they've never had to be interesting because everything they've gotten in their life is based solely on one thing, their sex appeal.
Ariel's my friend. She likes me. I'm not going to jump her bones like you think.
Clearly you do.
But I'm not going to jump her bones because she's much younger than me and we're friends.
What does that matter? She's younger than you?
Fuck that. I'm done with you, Gary. Every time you put people down, I don't want to talk to people that have low ID.
I never mentioned you.
But don't bring that up. I want to jump her bones. I don't. I just wanted to say hi to her. Not that I wanted to jump her bones, okay?
You don't find her attractive?
She's very attractive, but I could be her father, knucklehead.
So what?
So I don't want to fucking jump her bones, okay?
I certainly don't think that's true. I mean,
pissed off like
you have no idea why you're upset.
Because you said I wanted to jump a bone, you asshole.
I never said that.
Yes, you did.
I don't even use the term "jump her bones." I've never used that.
Yeah. And I wanted to jump a bone, you asshole. She's very attractive.
Yeah.
I wanted to jump a bones.
It's becoming a trend. Did he power off his phone?
You never know what you're gonna get on the show. Oh yeah, jumping of the bones, folks. Nothing like it. I never even heard of that term until that day on the show. Super chat here. We got a couple of them to hit, and then we'll get to some more calls here. In all likelihood, barring breaking Jet news, this will be our only show on the day here. Day after Christmas. I don't know how many people are tuned in to Jet content, and then I already did 4 hours on the radio today with Jordan Ronan. So I'm doing the morning show all next week on ESPN New York, 6 to 10. Tune in. What do we have here? We got this from Bang Mateo. Happy holidays, Jake. We still reap what we sow. Bang, you rooting or me rooting for the Jets to win or lose has no impact on the field. So you being upset that fans were excited, God forbid, their team won a couple games in the middle of the year is silly. In hindsight, if we could lose the Browns game now or the Falcons game, would we take it as fans? Yeah, but guess what? We have no control over it. But happy holidays to you as well. Bino says 57 to 60% completion percentage, 3-5 record in the playoffs, hard pass on Lamar, not for multiple ones. I mean, Bino, respectfully, have you seen the Jet quarterback play? If it was 2-1s, I'd do it. I don't want to get into a 3-4 first round pick thing. I would only do that for Joe Burrow, who I believe strongly in, because I think his game ages better than Lamar's. Burrow's been hurt a lot too. I get that, but Lamar's game is predicated on his ability to run. If that is not a weapon for him as he ages, what type of player is he? He's good, not great at that point. He's a good pocket quarterback. Burrow is an all-time great potential quarterback if he's healthy. Banku says, if the Jets do exactly what Jake wants and it doesn't work, Jake won't say Jake doesn't know what he's talking about. If the Jets do exactly what Jake wants and it doesn't work, Jake won't say, Jake, what? I'm not quite following here. I mean, all my opinions are on the record. So, it's not hard. All right, I'd be the first one to say hand up. I thought Zach Wilson was going to be good, and I was wrong. I'd be the first to tell you hand up. I thought Robert Saleh was going to be a good head coach. I thought he deserved to go, that fourth year. Shouldn't have been fired 5 games in. There are a ton of takes that we get wrong. But again, I'm not really sure what the purpose of this super chat is. I constantly admit when I'm wrong. So I don't know if that's what you're implying, you're wrong. Common Quan, Jake and Bobby, what's going on? Jake, I need to tell me your 4 teams from the AFC and the NFC that you have winning their divisions. Right now? Well, a lot of them have been clinched already. I mean, I think the Patriots win the East. I think the Steelers win the North. I think Jacksonville wins the South. Denver's already clinched their division. Eagles already clinched their division. The Bears, they haven't clinched the division yet, but I believe they will. I like them to win the North. I like Carolina to win the South, and I like Seattle to win the West. So that's a pretty easy question. Marcus says, Nick Folk appreciation super chat. That's all. Should be in the Pro Bowl, Marcus. Well said. 2 a.m. burrito in the raffle for 1. Thank you, Mr. Burrito. Big Islander fan. Gary with his Archie Bunker take on women. LOL. More calls, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you enter the raffle. 3 signed items up for grabs at the end of the program today. Right now, we say hello to a man where you guess where he's calling us from.
Good morning, Jake.
Hello, Mr. Clifton. Hope you had a great Christmas.
I did. I hope everyone else did as well. Jump your bones is kind of an antiquated New York saying. It's kind of from when I was a teenager, so it's going way back. I don't really hear it used too much anymore. So
really,
Bobby's a little bit older than me, so it wouldn't be surprising if he would be using it. But I am a little surprised he's using Boxing Day instead of St. Stephen's Day as an Irishman. He should be using St. Stephen's Day. He would probably admit that.
Well, we know Bobby's a self-proclaimed angry Irishman.
Yes. So, I saw that Lamar was the topic of conversation. I knew it was a matter of time when these stories started to leak, when he would get linked to the Jets. But he was some sort of restricted free agent where anyone could have had him for 2 first rounders like 2 years ago, right?
Correct. That was before Rodgers became available. We entertained the Lamar conversation to a point where there were so many Photoshop jerseys made of him as a Jet. This is from a Matt O'Leary thumbnail from a couple years ago. I just Googled Lamar Jackson Jets and saw this. So I'm like, yep, I remember when we were talking about this before Rodgers.
Yeah, well, so the one thing with Lamar is you kind of know what the price is a little bit. It's less than 2 first round picks. If they want to move past him, right? You know that it's less than what it was 2 years ago because he's 2 years older and no one was willing to pay it back then, right? I agree that it's probably not the optimal choice. You'd probably want to go and draft a guy, but I'd listen to anything if the price was right, right? If they're so desperate to move on him and they said, well, okay, we'll take the Colts 18th overall pick in like a 3rd round of next year, I think you'd have to consider it. But I don't know what they would accept or what the current regime thinks of Lamar and whether they think he could work here with Glenn. It doesn't kind of make sense for our rebuild. I kind of want to draft and develop our own guy, but when you've been as bad as we've been for as long as we've been, get the quarterback by hook or by crook. Just make sure that you don't overpay for him. That's kind of what my thinking on it. The other thing was, with Lamar is, I think you're right. The wheels are probably going to fall off in the next 2 or 3 years. So when you think that, we might not be able to be ready to win until after 2027, I don't know that it makes a whole ton of sense. It might make a little bit more sense for, a team that's maybe missing the playoffs this year, that's kind of got the team already, and they missed it for, like maybe the Vikings would make a little bit of sense for someone like Lamar, right? Because they seem to have pieces in place. It's not a total rebuild, but the QB is in question.
You don't think they're going to move forward with Max Brosmer and JJ McCarthy?
I'm finding it hard to believe, Jake. But that's all I wanted to chime in on with Lamar. It's like you just have to understand, where these players are in their career and their development and what the price might be in the whole scheme of things. The whole idea that no one, I was a little surprised that no one was willing to sacrifice 2 first rounders 2 years ago. I kind of felt like that was more like a legal collusion type thing where people just, out of deference or like an unspoken rule didn't get involved in poaching quarterbacks like that. I didn't know how you felt about it and when that was going on at the time. It was a little surprising to me that no one was willing to ante up to at least have them match for Lamar.
Well, what I think happened was you had all the owners basically like conspire against doing it. If you remember when all that was happening, right? Like
Right.
there was a lot to that story, and all those teams look so dumb. Remember, Arthur Blank said he wouldn't do it because there'd be concerns about durability, so they had Desmond Ridder play quarterback for them instead. Like Lamar would have been amazing for them for 2 first-round picks. Any team could have had him. So yeah,
I mean,
he's a couple years older now, and there's another injury. But I mean, since the last time we did the Lamar Jet conversation, he went out there and won another MVP, and probably should have won another one last year. And went to Allen instead. Lamar came in second.
Yeah, I thought he should have won last year, and actually Atlanta is another great example of a team that I feel like has some talent that just doesn't have the quarterback, and that's part of the reason they can't get over the hump. But I appreciate your time, Jake. I will talk to you later.
Kyle, great call. Appreciate you. Open phone lines for anyone who wants in. We got the raffle at the end of the show. Again, sign Vinny T jersey, sign Sack Exchange football, sign Nick Mangold football. I'll get the prize sent out maybe today if the line at UPS is not that long, if you are the winner. What do we have here? Pagan already had a super chat earlier. Donation for Jay Quest's new YouTube channel development. Everyone who calls into the show seemingly eventually makes their own show. Mad Max is the latest to have his own program. Hard to believe, but it's true. So when's the Jay Quest show coming? Many want to know. More of your calls right now. Let's check in with a man who needs no introduction.
You can kiss my big, big ass. Woo!
Beast, you there?
Just got in like 5 minutes ago. Whew. I had a good workout.
Why are you out of breath?
Well, I was carrying a heavy bag today. I got a 36 on eggs for $5. What a steal that was.
Really?
That's a steal. That's a woo.
Love
Ka-ching!
it. How was your Christmas piece? Tell us about it.
Well, can we all say, go New York, go New York, go?
Yeah, go New York, go New York, go.
Do we have that song in the lineup? Do we still have that?
I can't play it the full version because
I
can play a partial version of it. I just have to find
that'll fair. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. I can dig that. We can dig it. Bread $1.42 compared to what all these are trying to charge me. I said, you can bite yourselves. I picked up some NyQuil, which was $11, but you know what? That's what I call dig it, suckers. And are we ready to say Happy New Year?
We still have like what? 6 days, 5 days?
Yeah, why not? Hey, and plus, what did I get myself for lunch? The Baconator from Wendy's, baby.
Nice. That's a man's meal right there.
Hey, fit for a man. Hey, if you want to be a king, you gotta go for the Baconator. If you can't take it, here's your ticket. Get in line. And I don't want Lamar Jackson. No. He'll have his days where he's good, and then he'll have his days where he'll get smashed.
I heard he makes that same sound effect as well when he plays.
That's why I said, we have to rely on youth. I'm sorry.
Hey, Jimbo wants to know, what does Beast eat for Christmas dinner?
Doesn't prime rib count, or did everybody forget? Prime rib is not that. Prime rib is not as bad.
You had prime rib, Beast. Tell us about the spread.
Hey, prime rib, not bad at all. Nice and even with some good butter on it, some garlic on it. Ooh, sexy. I like it. And don't worry about our boys. We'll be okay. But our Knicks are going to be smoking, and I think I have this possibility. We might make finals if we are playing this good right now. All we got to do is keep our players healthy, and keep Jalen Brunson going, because he has been nothing but H-O-T, hot. And Big Fella's package shows up today. I just did a find out on the United States Postal Service this morning.
Hey, I got the super chat from the Chuck Wagon. $40. How is that possible? I've never seen a $39.99 super chat, but thank you, Chuck Wagon. Well done by you. I didn't know you even do that.
Oh, you mean Chuck Wagon always cooking on the day. Chuck Wagon always cooking at the game. Chuck Wagon hates McDonald's. Hey, nothing wrong with that. That's got to be probably the best country hit we've heard in years. I mean, it's good. That's good country cowboy music. Knowing me, I'm not a cowboy. I hate cowboys, especially in the old days. Like, I'll give you a hit. Clint Eastwood. I love his work in Western movies, and also especially his best line going, "You always be poor, just like the greasy rat that you are."
Hey, Beast, let me just read this for a second here, because Wagon wants to know, who's Jay Quest? Does he ever call in? I mean, Chuck Wagon, you don't know who Jay Quest is? That's unbelievable. Beast, do you realize how loud you are when you have your headset on? I just think Jake will, so I'll be better for later today when the in-laws come. Okay, so Chuck Wagon is trying to mend himself back to good health, but he wants to know, Beast, are you aware how loud you are?
Hey, don't worry about it. What you see is what you get. That's the way the word. Everyone has their own opinions, and they're entitled to them. Now, let's worry about
clown sucking douchebag.
Oh yeah. Now, look, I recognize that there's always new viewers of the show. Not everyone maybe has fully seen what our guy Jay Quest is all about. Maybe Jay Quest should stop, licking the boots of Aaron Glenn and call in a little more, huh, Jay Quest? But if you don't know who Jay Quest is, I'll do my best to remind you exactly who he be.
Reed in Battleboro. What's up, Reed?
Hey, Chris. How are you?
Good. How are you, buddy?
I've been better. Having a hard time sleeping since I moved out here from Glen Oaks.
Oh, yeah?
But
I know all about having trouble sleeping, buddy.
I was calling about the Jets, but I actually had a basketball point, too, real quick, if you don't mind, about St. John. So before the season started, I made a friendly wager with my friend who's a Chiefs fan. His team is Xavier. He's a big Xavier fan.
Okay.
And he's like, Xavier's going to win the Big East this year. Put your money where your mouth is. So we bet $1,000 on that. Not the regular season, the Big East tournament. And he's got Xavier, coached by Big Cho. They got Lane Kerner, Charles Gorman, Bobby Midnight. But they're a good team, but I think the Johnny's got them. I'm hoping. Who knows?
Yeah, well, you're hoping they get picked off on Thursday against Xavier.
Yeah, in regards to the Jets point, we need a quarterback. I get it. We've been there, quarterback hell forever and whatnot. I know a couple nights ago you were saying you would pick Sanders, I think.
Yes, if Sanders is there at 7, I would take him, yes.
I don't know. Cam Ward, 100%, I would take him. But what about this kid from Arizona State, Dixon Hole? His receivers with the Bonesy brothers, Joe and Anthony. And Jaden Daniels left LSU at Arizona State because this kid was outperforming him. The only problem is he's like an 8th-year senior because of that whole COVID thing. So he's like almost like a Chris Winkie type guy or like Rick Kent from Brigger State. What are your thoughts on him?
I mean, I don't have real strong opinions on him. I'll be totally honest with you. I haven't broke down the film, but I'm not going to take him 7. You want to take him later? You want to take any one of these quarterbacks? It doesn't have to be him. It could be whoever you want.
Chuck Wagon, that's one version of Jay Quest. And then here's another.
Hey, do you go to the gym by any chance and play basketball by any chance or no?
Not recently. Why? You thought you saw me hooping somewhere?
I go to LA Fitness in Levittown. We have this tournament, right? 64 of us. And we play basketball, 1 versus 16, and we kind of grade each other based on our, how we play. So I'm the 8th seed. I got to go versus the 1 seed because I beat the 9 seed Ted. Shout out to Ted easily. But I got to play the 1 seed, right? Here's my problem with the 1 seed. His name is Bobby. Bobby, if you're listening, I'm sorry. I love you. This guy, have you ever smelled rotten potatoes, Keith?
No, but go
Dude,
on.
So rotten potatoes is the second worst thing I've ever smelled in my life. The first is Bobby. Do I spray this guy with Mando before I play him or some butter and make him smell better, or do I just grind it out and try to hump my way to a win?
I have a rule. If I can smell you, I'm going to tell you. Have you told him?
Bobby it's just another level, bro. And, I don't even know what to say. The 16 seed didn't even show up when he had to play him. And Bobby thought that he just won because the guy was afraid, but it was because he smelled.
He's like, no, I can't.
He didn't show up.
I can't have that smell in my nose.
If I post this guy up, I might vomit. I'm serious.
He thinks that John and Bobby need to get a job. This cowboy hates the stinks.
It's 10 times worse than rotten potatoes.
Thanks for the call, Lane. There's enough humans that smell like rotten potatoes on the subway.
That's Jay Quest, one of the all-time greats. I didn't even get to the Knoble calls from the previous offseason. I can't wait till we get the draft season. Who's this year's fake prospect we'll fool the clowns at FAN about? Unreal. Chuck Wagon, are you aware who Jay Quest now is?
I don't think I've ever seen him before. In those two clips, it looked like his mouth was AI generated.
Well,
Didn't just
Gator
seem-
Gator took the audio and made it presentable to air on the show to make it funnier, but that it was a radio call. There was no video of it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry.
Why don't you say, hey, those were really funny, Jay Quest. I wasn't familiar with your game. Respect.
No, they were good calls. I didn't realize they were radio calls. I thought maybe it was a live thing. So
repeat after me. Hey, Jay Quest, I wasn't familiar with your game.
Hey, Jay Quest, I wasn't familiar with your game. It looks good.
That call was hilarious. Thanks for the laughs.
Thanks for the laughs.
It sounds like it really pained you to say something nice about Jay Quest. Did Jay Quest wrong you?
No, I didn't even know who he was until I'd never seen his face until just now.
Man, Barbarossa says Chuck Wagon is pickier than his kids. Tom A says JQ versus the Wagon. Man, this has got to be a tournament matchup, huh? Committee, get to work. I need a first round of 64 matchup between the Wagon and Jay Quest.
Yeah, that's going to be, that'd be fun.
You think so, huh?
Always a good time. Always a good time.
Boss Girl says this is borderline excited for Chuck Wagon. Now, let me ask you this, Chuck Wagon. What do you like when you watch the Jets? Not now when like we're all just like beaten down, just can't wait for the season to end. But like, what do you like week one of the season? Like, there's still hope. They haven't lost any games yet. Like, when you watch the team, and let's say the Jets are doing something well for a change, they score a big touchdown. Do you emote? Do you just sit there and golf clap? Do you go, yeah? Do you get excited? Do you high five people? What do you like?
I high five people. I guess that you could say I'm like a kid on Christmas.
So you show real energy.
Yes.
And have you been to any Jet games this season?
Not this season.
But when you go and they're doing the Jet chant, are you getting into it?
Yeah.
So you're passionate, loud, screaming, yelling, all that?
I am until my voice gives out, yeah.
I can't picture you yelling. It's tough to picture.
I can understand that, but hopefully next year when you'll probably have a game that you'll go to, I'll try to definitely go to that and you'll see firsthand.
Couple questions from the audience. Ted wants to know who's moodier, Bobby or Chuck Wagon. Do you think you're more moody than Bobby?
I don't know. It depends on the day.
Aunt Banks says, to be fair, I didn't know who Jay Quest was either. Brian says, I just voted for Chuck.
Voted for Chuck for what? Did you have a poll?
No, he's just going to say, I think he's saying he's going to vote for you in the tournament if we have that first round matchup.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
The Macho Man says, Chuck has the personality of a wagon.
Maybe that's how I get my name.
Leon says you look like Adam Gase with the headset on. That's a good one.
It's actually true. That's a good one.
Tom A says if you were a little more tan, you might be solid. You could honestly pull off somehow the previous two Jet coaches.
Well, wait till the summer. I am half Italian, so I do tan pretty well. So actually, yeah, I do see it. A lighter version of Salah. Yeah, I see it.
Snowball wants to know, when is the next Chuck Wagon tailgate?
Whenever I go to the next game.
Leon says you should be happy, Wagon. A day after Christmas, you're looking like you want to find a bridge to jump off of.
Yeah, I kind of actually did earlier. But I feel better, especially with the Dayquil that I just took.
You look good. You need to bring you a doctor one last time? Check in with someone?
My wife's in the medical field. I'll just have her check me.
Yeah, but your wife is not the beast.
Bim boom me, bim boom 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 bop, bim boom bop, bim boom bop, bim boom me, bim boom boom bop. Buenos dias, there, Chuck Wagon.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
as I said, next time when you go to a game, you should bring your grill. Why don't you do this? Put some burgers on that grill, put some hot dogs, put some chicken on there, and some beef. You can actually do
I don't have
like
a. I would rather have a flat top because I really would want to make my chuck wagon sandwiches.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you do something like that, and then maybe send that into the Food Network, and maybe you get your own cooking television show because you surprised me with your cooking on the sausages. I'm going, Macy, this guy could do wonders with sausage, but has he done anything with a burger, a pizza, a salad, or even ribs? Have you done anything like that yet?
Not really. Actually, I did cook ribs.
I want you to watch one guy that I watch. He's from the Carolinas. This guy can do chicken like you wouldn't believe. And you know who I'm referring to? We're gonna baptize that chicken. Check the guy out, man. He will make you laugh like you wouldn't believe. This guy does things that it blows a person's mind. Oxtails. He did a bear, a snake, and some and other forms of chicken. But I'll tell you right now, this guy can make chicken so good that it will blow your mind. And let me just say, I don't like snake, and I don't like oxtails and squid and all that other stuff. Not my thing. And I don't like nuts either. Nope, no nuts here. Me and Jake have the same combination. I don't like nuts. Not like that. No. Even pistachios. I don't like pistachios on mortadella. It's disgusting. Not my thing. Not my type. I like regular mortadella. No pistachios. No pistachio. Regular mortadella. No pistachios. No
Brazilian nuts.
No. Just regular mortadella. Even gabagool. Even ham. Even salami. Turkey. I even like lemon turkey, but there's another kind of turkey that you should try. There's a thing called Cajun turkey. You ever try Cajun?
No. Just Cajun cocoa turkey.
Cajun is Whoa! That made me want to sit back in almost on a roller coaster thing and go as high as a kite. Fortunately, not my thing. But so, Chuck Wagon, what other sports do you watch besides football? Do you watch any basketball?
Actually, I have the NBA basketball last on my tier list.
Okay.
I got football. Second is hockey. Third is baseball. Fourth is NBA. Actually, I watch a lot of pro sumo wrestling from Japan. Actually, I would rate.
What? Okay. Japan. Okay, well, there are two different or there's several wrestling organizations in Japan. There's Noah. That's hard style. All Japan is your big dudes, knocking each other around.
Yeah, that's why
another organization that you should check out, and they've been around for almost 50 some years. New Japan Pro Wrestling, one of the greatest organizations in the world today. New Japan has been around since 1972. Founded by who? The great Antonio Inoki.
I think the second one. Excuse me.
All right, Chuck Wagon. I feel like we covered a lot, and it feels like that you're going to be healthy in no time. So hopefully that happens.
Yeah, I definitely got to get ready for later today.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Chuck Wagon.
The gong. I like that sound, but I'm not into sumo wrestling. I like high flying freestyle wrestling, like New Japan.
Would you be a sumo wrestler yourself? GTA wants to know.
No, I don't do that sort of stuff. I like the high flying stuff. I'll tell you what. If you ever gone to a Mexican show, which I have, and I got all the glass stuff in glass frames, you're gonna want more because Lucha Libre has been around since 1923.
Hey, question for you from the audience. Amanda says, Beast, do you like sliced buffalo chicken Beast by Boar's Head? Feels like it's right up your alley. Is it chicken beast or chicken breast?
I'm familiar with Boar's Head. I've had Boar's Head a couple of times from Jersey, and Boar's Head is okay, but you got to be very careful with it. Like after maybe 4 or 5 days, it'll go kind of funky. So if you're good, just make sure you check the lunch meat before you do anything. because you don't want to be eating, nasty stuff. That's why you always get it fresh right off the market. Always think if you don't play your cards right, you're going to get womped on.
Hey, Beast, what is your New Year's Eve food spread? Brett wants to know.
We'll see what knowing me, New Year's to me is another day at the office because what's there to celebrate? Well, let me just say this. Where I live, New Year's around here is not what it used to be. It's a very different world out here. Very strange. If I was with you guys, okay, it's a different world, a different ball game.
Hey, would you go to Times Square and wear a diaper and stand out there for
whoa. Hey.
What?
Calm your freaky down.
That wasn't a freaky comment. That's what they
I
do.
don't like that shit.
No, that's how it works. You have to go through the barricades, go through security. You stand in Times Square.
I got my jeans with the chain on it.
They give you a diaper so you don't leave and you could just, poop your pants if you have to go.
Whoa!
You know what I'm talking about? You ever watch Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve?
I know where to find the nearest bathroom. It's called If You Don't Think I Won't Find Nearby Bathrooms, all you got to do is pay attention closely.
So a diaper, Times Square, Wednesday night. You in?
Whoa. Take the equation out. Take that out of the equation out. That equation is very, very irrelevant to me. I'm not.
Hey, Dave Brigger says Boar's Head is overrated.
It is true because sometimes people do tend to get carried away with that stuff. That's why there's other products. That's why there's Butterball. That's why there's also Dietz and Watson. There's other lunch meats out there that y'all need to go try. Even London broils are even good. Even Vienna beef is even good. Try it.
Well done, Beast. Hey, before we get to Jimbo, who's next on the line, I have been informed that today is the 1-year anniversary of one of the great Rumbles in this show's history. And I just remembered it is because I read a comment from the legendary Dave Brigger. So I bring you all back to December of 2024, a time when the Jets also still sucked. And Dave Brigger went head-to-head with a man we call B-Mac.
Listen, pigmouth, shut up. Keep your mouth shut. Number one, when you call people old, this is what you get.
You don't scare me. You don't scare me. You don't scare me, Dave. You're always going to see this face. All right? I'm always going to be right in the J. No matter who's the Jet quarterback, I'm always going to be here. You know what I mean?
Listen, buddy.
Like trying to run me out of the show.
You're
I'm
an
not
idiot.
going
You don't know
nowhere.
anything about football. You never did. Mr. Zero. Mr. Zero. There he is.
I'm serious.
Mr. Zero. That's you. You have bad Wi-Fi. Take that hat off. Put that Jets hat on. Let's see it. Come on. Get that cap on. Go to work. Are you work? You know how to work?
Twice in the afternoon, baby. Who wants to ask me a question in the chat?
It's all I need. One punch. One punch. One punch. One punch. One knocker. One punch. I make you
Give
go
me some time
like
by
you're afraid.
myself.
One punch.
Wow.
One punch.
Dave Brigger bringing some passion. Thank you, Dave. One punch Dave Brigger was born on that day. Hey, so we talked about this earlier. For those tuning in late, the Jets did the right thing and are allowing this great diehard Jet fan to kick in their field goal challenge on Sunday. So the story is the Jets will now allow diehard fan Ashley Castellano-Gervas to kick in the 100K field goal challenge at MetLife after the New York Post reported yesterday that she got booted from the contest over a technicality. The U-turn came as a Long Island soccer coach, Ashley Castellano-Gervas, received outpouring of support from the sports world over the snub. The Jets said, quote, "We realized there was unfortunate misunderstanding regarding Ashley's eligibility for the contest. In an effort to remedy the situation, we're allowing her to kick this Sunday for an opportunity to win the prize." Yada, yada, yada. She's the Long Beach girls varsity coach. By the way, shout out to Long Beach, Long Island. Made a qualifying 20-yarder at a tailgate event during the Jets-Panthers game in October, but she was told Monday she cannot compete in Sunday's on-field kick for the cash contest at halftime in the upcoming Jets-Pats game. She was barred from the finals on short notice over an insurance technicality against coaches and recent athletes from the high school to Olympic levels. So the Jets invited her, then reneged on inviting her, and they were getting crushed on social media. Connie Carberg texted me the actual article because I just saw the headline and gave the Jets credit. I didn't even realize they mentioned me in the story, so I just wanted to read it to the Asmaniacs. Part of the article, here's the part on the screen. The team picked up the flag on the play after sports media figures like Damian Woody, Jake Asman, and fellow gangrene diehards fiercely defended her online, making the debacle a trending topic on X. The fact that I got lumped in with one of my favorite Jets there, D Wood, pretty cool. So, hey, New York Post, you're good in my book. Shout out to Kaz, Frankie, Ryan. The team picked up the flag on the play after sports media figures like Davian Woody, Jake Asman. I love it. But good job by the Jets. This never should have happened, obviously, but you give them credit for fixing it. Dumb. And I hope this woman nails the kick too. Honestly, Pat McAfee was tweeting about this. He was going to get involved. The Jets didn't do the right thing. Because anyone who watches College Game knows Pat funds the kicking contest on that show with his own money. So shout out to the New York Post. I wanted to give them credit for mentioning me in the article. I didn't even realize, but Connie Carberg sent it to me. I had no clue. Sean says, Jake, who should I rumble with? Sean, I thought you were not going to call in anymore. Call in, Sean. Let's hear about your Christmas. We don't need to be in a rumble mood today. We could just sit back and focus on the positives of life. More of your calls, ladies and gentlemen. This guy is one of the best callers. When he actually calls in, he doesn't call in enough. Jimbo's next. What's up, Jimbo?
What's going on, Jake? How's it been? Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year to all the Asmaniacs and yourself. How was the garden yesterday?
Awesome, man. I've been to Nick Smith's the last 2 years now. I'm going to try and make it an annual thing because I'm typically working on the radio that morning anyway. And it's great. I mean, the Knicks yesterday, I mean, they looked dead until they weren't. And that was an awesome comeback.
That spark by Tyler Kolek yesterday, like, I love this year that he's actually getting some run with Mike Brown. I don't know where he was. He was just buried on the bench last year, but
yeah, look, I'm a staunch Tom Thibodeau defender, but if Knick fans can't acknowledge the job Brown has done so far, you're not being fair. I mean, he's using a deeper bench. They also have a better bench too, to be fair. But I don't know if Tibbs is playing Kolek. Honestly,
no,
Kolek's been awesome.
I understand. I like Thibodeau. That was one of my gripes with him, that he only liked to use 7 people. Meanwhile, like, Brown likes to go 10 deep, which even, what was it, last week when we played Indiana and everybody was playing and we still came back and won that game too. So, I mean, worst thing about my Christmas, my sister bought me a Quinn Williams rivalry jersey.
Oh, no. Can you return it?
Nah, it's all right. I'll just keep it. He's still
what
one
if
of
you
my
return it?
favorite Jets,
But you return it and get a different Jet player.
Yeah, it's all right. I'll keep it. No worries. But the one I did.
How did that
happen
happen,
this
though?
morning on my birthday.
Jimbo.
And my brother got me a Jalen
Jimbo
Brunson jersey.
Jimbo. How does that happen where she got a Quinnen jersey in the first place? No one advised her on what player to get?
So I told her, I go, you could either I picked 2 of my favorite, one on each side of the ball. So I said either get Garrett or get Quinnen. And this is, my sister likes to do it way by like Christmas presents like a month and a half in advance. So she bought it before the trade deadline. And then I woke up to my brother texting me, yeah, guess who got traded? And I was like, so I was like, it is what it is. I'll still rep. It doesn't matter. I have another regular green jersey from him. So it's not like I'm going to throw it out. I'm pretty sure I commented it earlier in the chat today. Like I bought Zach Wilson's jersey, the black one, the black jersey we have 4 years ago, because I went to the game when it was against Trevor Lawrence and he had that like 60-yard touchdown run. And I was like, he might be the guy. And then, a year, not even 9 months later, we're like, yeah, he's a fucking trash can. Sorry for my language.
Well, I'm sorry that that jersey's outdated, but maybe you'll win a jersey in one of these raffles these days, Jimbo.
I hope so. But I think if it's one of those signed ones, I'll probably give it to one of my cousins or older cousins or uncle who actually got to experience like the Klecko and all those. But I will say, I don't know if I know you're telling me to stop, but I woke up this morning and my brother, gave me a Jalen Brunson jersey. So a little happy about that.
That one's good. That's good to get. That won't age poorly.
Oh, I have the only other Knicks jerseys I have are RJ, which, I liked RJ, but if we had to trade him, so we now have OG and all the pieces to go win a championship, I'm happy with that. And then I have the Josh Hart last year City Connect, the white one. So I'm not too worried about it.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jimbo. Great call. Hopefully, you are more of a regular caller going forward, all right?
Yeah, I'll have to, but I'm actually moving down to Georgia in like 2 weeks, so I'm going to have to call in a little bit more, to be honest with you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jimbo.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Job well done all around. Rick Kent says I have a Jimmy Lynn jersey. I do too. I have Lynn. I have Mello. I have Stoudemire. Trying to think of, I don't have a ton of Knicks jerseys relative to like the Jet jerseys I have. What other Knicks jerseys? I have a Josh Hart and Brunson jersey. I did have a Barrett jersey. I had a Porzingis jersey. That might have been it. Sean says, Jake, I've been sober. It sucked. Was sober for 4 days. Oh boy. Do we entertain a Sean call? We wanted him to call in sober, and now he's saying that, well, he's not sober. So what do we do? Well, if you know anything about this show, we do the only thing you can do. You take his call.
Sean, he wears batshit crazy glasses. Spikes his football in the toilet. He might be a little drunk. 3D Gary thinks the guy is a midwit. Is that a Cybertruck on his face? Let's ask Sean Sugator.
Love that song. Love that intro. But sober. No, I said I've been sober 4 days before. Now I'm not. So Jake, hello.
Sean.
I was wondering about this whole predicament, with the draft order. What draft pick you think we're gonna get ultimately?
In the top 4, maybe as high as 1, could be 2, could also be 3. Or
because the Raiders play the Giants, and so
it's a mystery, Sean.
And I know we're not going to win another game. So that all right. Let's say we end up with the third pick, right? And we want to trade up to the first. Let's say the Giants lose to the Raiders.
Hey, Sean, did you call in twice by accident?
No.
Well, there's a guy on the line who's claiming to be you.
Sean, he wears batshit crazy glasses. Spikes his football in the toilet. He might be a little drunk. 3D Gary thinks the guy is a midwit. Is that a Cybertruck on his face? Let's ask Sean Sugator.
Gator.
Sean.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Not much, Sean. How you doing?
I'm good. What's up? You got something to say to me? You want to make
did you
this
have
a
a
brawl?
good Christmas?
No.
Do you have a good Christmas?
Yeah, the kids. I gave them gifts, and they'll unappreciate them in like a year, but
A year? That's a year would be good. Usually my kids don't appreciate their gifts in about a month. So, boy, to get one good year, that would be great.
yeah, right. I mean, when they become teenagers, it's almost like you never gave them anything, and you were always like not there. So you can't win, but.
And they also think they can parent better than we can.
Yeah, new age, Gen Z people, they know it all. So we don't
Jets, Jets. So what else is there, Sean?
I don't know where that conversation was going. I wanted a brawl.
You want to rumble?
I want to rumble.
Yeah, but
Jake, put somebody else I can rumble with.
Yeah, but why would you want to just rumble unsolicited? The whole point of the rumble is two people with differing opinions on whatever the topic is on the show. They have at it.
Okay. I know everybody likes me, so All right, let me rumble with
Who would you like to rumble with? Who was your dream rumble contender?
I like I don't have any issues with anybody, honestly.
Then why do you want to rumble?
Is JJ on?
JJ is not on, no.
All right.
What about Gary? He called you a midwit.
Yeah, put Gary on.
He's not on either.
Oh, damn it. But Jake, I hope you had a good Christmas and everything went well. And you don't have kids, Jake, do you?
No kid. Well, hopefully not. No kids.
Yeah. But Jake, how old are you? Like 29, 30?
47.
You're not 47. Come on.
I'm old, man. I just stay in shape, try to look good every day.
No way. There's no way you're 47.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I know that Irish skin doesn't, last that long in the sun.
I'm not Irish either, believe it or not, Sean.
You seem like you. What are you, like Jew?
That's not a God.
You're Jewish, aren't you, Asman?
Yeah, but that's not an ethnic background.
No, I have nothing against Jews. I love Jews.
I didn't say you did, but like Irish and Jew is not the same thing.
I know, but I don't know. Like I kind of have a sense, to like be like, wait a minute. If he's not Irish, he must be Jewish.
What are you, Muslim? Like it's not the same thing. Like Jewish is a religion.
No, but I mean, like,
what are you, Catholic?
You know what I mean? Like what?
Also,
you're not religious, are you?
Jewish. You could be an Irish Jewish person. It's not mutually exclusive.
Yeah, you're not like, I don't know. You're not religious, right?
I don't think you're following why what you said is inaccurate.
No, I know it's inaccurate. I just made that like a distinction. Like, all right, if you're not Irish,
are you Irish, Sean?
I have it. Yeah, I'm part Irish. I'm part Irish, Puerto Rican, Native American Indian, and French.
Well, you know what, Sean? I was just busting your balls. Rick Kent's on to me. I actually am Irish. My last name used to be Asman, but it was changed to Asman at Ellis Island.
Oh, nice. Sweet.
Yeah, I was drinking some JMO all day yesterday. A little Jameson.
That's what happened to me. That's why my last name is Sharp now.
Hey, Georgie wants to know if you're part chump.
I'm part whatever you want me to be, bud.
Hey, Bill M says the dream thinks that you should slow down drinking.
Why? If it makes me feel good and it makes me express myself better.
Hey, Beast says Sean is part jackass.
Beast is he's an addict boy. He's
addict boy.
He lives in the 90s, He has a Super Nintendo. I don't know, man. He eats, microwave popcorn and chills with like his stuffed bear, with a hole in it. Like I don't know, man.
Well, I'll tell you what, Sean. If you want to rumble, you just got one.
Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans of all ages, welcome to the event of the year, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the Asmaniac Rumble.
Really, jackass? Really, you sonny boy? I don't think you want to go there with me, son. This is Global Studio Headquarters, the top headquarters in the country. And you're talking to a man who owns 5 of the top corporations in the United States. So if I were you, sonny boy, you better watch your mouth and you better back off. Or this, we're upside your head. Just remember that.
All right, Beast.
I'm putting you in check right now.
Get out of line with me, and I'll put you right back in.
Okay, Al Heyman's bunion.
Let me just say this. Back in my day when I used to go to school, I used to deal with jackasses like you, and I put them in check. This is why they've already been sent packing.
The only people you put in check is your hamster and your mom.
Oh no, buddy.
That's the only people you put in check.
This is where I'm going to stop you right here. This is where I'm going to stop you right here, buddy boy. You don't know your ass from your fucking chin. This is how dumb you are. Your IQ's no lower than cheap toilet paper from the dollar.
All right, listen, Pinhead.
You don't know your.
You know
don't know shit about me.
The only graduation you are is like a bottom turd.
You got nothing to offer. You're
like,
weak. You're weak. You're simple-minded. You're foolish. You're childish. You're ridiculous. You're out of touch with reality. You're dumber than Adam Schiff, and you're a complete waste.
That is touch with reality, dude. You watch wrestling, which is scripted. Wrestling is scripted. Who's out of reality here?
You need to get your balls reevaluated by a doctor, and you got no heart for this business. You're a total waste of my time.
Holy moly! Look at those.
You name it.
You said you wanted to rumble. I got the gloves
Dude, I
right
can't
here.
rumble with those, man.
Why?
Because I thought they were like, at first I thought they were breasts.
No, these are boxing gloves. Made in the USA. And also, you wanted to fight Gary. Gary has gloves.
Put those to your chest. I don't know, man. Okay, rumble gloves. I mean, I could rumble with like my just stallion type bravado. I don't need gloves, man.
Oh, I think you're gonna need them.
No, I could outwit you, so I don't need gloves.
Jets, Jets. Well, that second part of the Rumble was a bit of a dub, but Sean, good call. Merry Christmas. We gave you your Christmas wish come true. You versus Beast and you versus Sean, aka Chuckwagon, in a Rumble. Ladies and gentlemen, we played an iconic clip that took place a year ago. The name One Punch Day Brigger was born on this day. Ladies and gentlemen, in honor of that, the legend has called in himself.
He thinks that Gorman needs to get a freaking job. This cowboy hates to see as maniacs complain. What they call him, One Punch Brigger. You need to get a job. What they call him, One Punch Brigger. The beast is on his ass. They call him One Punch Brigger. Has anyone seen Dean Mack? They call him One Punch Brigger. You only need one.
Hey, good afternoon, Jake.
Hello, Dave. Is that a T-Mobile hat?
T-Mobile, yes.
T-Mobile. Are you a T-Mobile customer?
I did a lot of business with them, yeah.
Okay.
They always treated me good, you know. So
all right, shout out to T-Mobile.
I like to, yeah, little I'm not trying to advertise for them, but it's been a year since that clip.
Yeah, One Punch Day Brigger.
Wow, we had a lot of pain since then, right? The pain never ends.
It just keeps going.
Yeah, but we got, I wonder whatever happened to that fellow. Yeah. He must have got lost in space. Somebody got him a moonshot. I don't know.
Apparently, he's watching Steelers YouTube videos now. He just moved on where Rodgers went.
Did anybody ever see him? Has anybody ever located him on YouTube or anything?
Yeah, Gator said he found him like in the comment section of Steelers shows.
Yeah, well, he's no loss anyway. It was definitely no loss. But watching those guys rumble, that's something, It's good to see other people rumble, but Beast is about the only one that had any fire there. And his best comment was about Adam Schiff. So Beast gets his politics in there. I like that. So, yeah, it was. Sean got to stop the booze. So he's dry today, Sean?
No, he said he was sober for 4 days, and that wasn't any fun. So I think he was hammered in that last call.
Oh, he was hammered. Man, it's too much. Sean, got to take it easy. And Chuckwagon's such a nice guy, trying to get him. That guy, there's some guys that they're not fit to rumble. I just think Chuck's not one of them. He's not a fit rumbler.
He's too nice of a guy to go at it with someone.
You got to have fire to rumble. You have to have some juice. You got to have it. Maybe he's got a split personality. I don't know. We've got maybe somebody's got to drive a spike in him. Who knows? You know, maybe
Well
he is
said.
enough. Hey, maybe enough paying the Jets comments will drive him insane.
He says, "Love you, Brigger."
Oh yeah. Well, today's a day I'm dealing with a lot of unachievers. I'm trying to get ready to leave town. Snow are coming in, banking issues, pharmacy issues.
Mm.
You know, people working now is unlike the old days, man. I'm telling you, everybody want to take a day off. Not enough employees. So, there's enough jobs out there. This is why I can't get I don't understand why Gorman and Bobby cannot get jobs. There's plenty of opportunities out there because we need workers, man. We need them out there. We need people to want to achieve things.
I don't know if they believe in achievement.
There are a lot of lazy people out there, man. They want everything to come to them. You're one of the hardest workers I've seen. I give you a lot of credit hanging in the years. Look at it today. What you already worked 4 hours and you're on here right after that.
Yep. Look, the YouTube show will not suffer for all the extra radio I'm doing this time of year. We got to finish the Jet season first.
Jake, the old timers I grew up with, they would have loved a guy like you.
That means a lot, Dave. You're the kind of guy who you want to have that respect from. So that means a lot.
Yeah, no, really. I mean, you got a work ethic like the old time Pennsylvania workers. In my region, we had the best work ethic in the United States of America. You know, uh, Pre World War II, post World War II. So it's things that are forgotten now. So that's why I say things. I just don't say them out of flimsiness. Flippancy. I mean, they're actual things that happen. When I talk about the achievements we had, like going to the moon. These guys today don't get it, because they've been taught propaganda, baloney, BS. They don't. A friend of mine, they don't even have history books in school. I mean, so where do you get your information? And as far as the college campus goes, we know about that deal. What's going on? I don't want to go too deep here because I could just go on. I could be on here for 12 hours going. But yeah, but it's true. But and it's the thing about this is supposed to be our release, the candy store of life, the sports realm, and the politics have even entered that now. We can't even enjoy sometimes without arguments about politics. But as far as our team goes, everybody's split on Glenn here. I don't get it. I don't want to keep on going over the same thing over and over, be redundant, but I don't see it in this guy. Guys who have too much faith in him, too much faith. He's proved no. There's no evidence here. We have to have some type of evidence of progress going forward. And this tank, we know they're just going to lose games because they're bad. They're just bad. Being bad, trying to make yourself bad is two different things. They are just plain bad, 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 bad.
I agree. Now, clearly, now that it shifted with Brady Cook and all the guys they shut down, but people acting like this was all part of the plan. They were trying to win when they got off to that 0-7 start. They pivoted, which is the right move with the deals they did with Sauce and Quinn, and they got great value. But again, their first plan blew up in their face. They completely misevaluated their own roster, their ability to coach up guys that were here, and the guys they brought in, including the quarterback. So I get your concern. I'm right there with you. We need to see real competency from this head coach before I'm going to blindly believe that we got the guy.
Well, we all wanted them to succeed. That's not the point. I mean, why would we want him to succeed? But we're not just blind. Blind faith is totally different than what we see. We all have eyes. We all know. We all have a sense that've been around this game such a long time, especially most of our fans because they're knowledgeable, right? So there's some guys that just don't see it that way. They just want to have this blind faith. Yeah, I mean, I would like to have that too, but we just been through too much to have that blind faith, Jake. And I know at one time, man, you were the most optimistic guy coming in with Zach Wilson. We've all seen too much. It's too much already. It's just too much losing. It's too much negativity. I don't want to be negative. I want to have some optimism, but it's got to be warranted. That's the way I look at it. No offense to anybody that has a different view. Hey, listen, I put in a lot of years. Maybe that's it. As the years go on, you just get a little bit, it'll get rougher under the skin. The younger guys, the other guys, they got a lot of years to go yet before all this maybe weighs on them more. But losing weighs on you. It weighs heavily on you. If you're a competitor, if you like to win, but we have to be competitive. We're non-competitive. That's the whole issue here. We're non-competitive. I mean, it's bad. It's bad when when you can't compete. And the leagues, let's face it, this is not the old NFL. Most of the teams are bad. They're not good. This is not the league is it's a weak league now. It's not like it was, you know, this year especially. There's too many bottom feeders, and we can't compete with the bottom feeders. Like last week in New Orleans. What are they? They're not, they're nothing to write home about. And we just didn't compete. So what else can we say, Jake? Just keep the fans hanging tight. I'll be traveling to Florida, so I'll need the Lord's blessings, traveling mercies. But I'll be cleaning up snow this afternoon, starting late. I don't know if it's coming to you guys in New York, but up here in the mountains, we're gonna have a little snow, 3 to 6. All right, gentlemen, Jake, always good speaking to you and the men. Always, God bless you. I get a kick out of those old rumbles. But no, hey, listen, let's put it this way: there's nobody's going to compete with Gary and my rumbles. There's no way. There ain't no way. And now
you guys are the best. It's like Batman and Joker, man. It's the best rivalry in the show's history.
We may not see those again. I don't know unless he starts more on progress. More stuff. We may not see those rumbles again between Gary and me. We're trying to make a little peace here.
Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah, it may not last very long. Who knows?
Dave, you're the best. You're the best.
All right,
Safe travels,
take care,
right? Happy
Jake.
New Year.
You too, Jake. Happy New Year, everybody. Take care.
He thinks that Gary needs more shots upside his head. This cowboy hates when you don't believe in achievement. Well, they call him One Punch Brigger. The moon landing was free. They call him One Punch Brigger. His claim is not true. They call him One Punch Brigger. He did justice like his ass. One Punch Brigger. Does it only need
Now that is excellent. Excellent from Dave Brigger. Great call. His rumbles with Gary. Yankee Red Sox. Michigan versus Ohio State. Duke versus UNC. Batman versus the Joker. Spider-Man versus the Green Goblin. It's as good as any rivalry. Ali versus Frazier. The Jets versus competency. Like, it's incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, he's called back in for some reason, and we go to him immediately.
Dick, I love that last skit you did. Oh, well, it was awesome, man.
What
Congrats, man. With the Joker, Batman, the rivalries. That was beautiful.
Is that I think you mean just the points I was making, Sean? Because I didn't
The
play
points you were making, it was beautiful.
Well, thank you.
Like, top notch. Jay, you're going places, man. You are.
Thanks, Sean.
Yeah, I always knew you were intelligent.
You have a great TV setup there. Show everyone the setup.
The setup right now, I just moved in like a year ago, but we're trying, to get things set up.
Well, the TV looks like it's a great size.
Yeah, it's a TV stand. It's a little setup for now. It's temporary. My bedroom, I'm gonna show you my bedroom. It's all Jet stuff.
Hey, Tom Ace wants to know, does Sean still have dreams about Jake?
I dream of Jake every night. No, it's like no, honestly, like my girlfriend one time, she woke up and she told me about, dude, you listen to Jake so much. I dreamed of Jake. I think I told you this before.
Did your girlfriend dream about me or you dream about me? I'm confused now.
No, my girlfriend.
Really?
Yeah. She was like,
so what happened in this dream?
Calm your freaky down.
What was happening in this dream, Sean?
No, she basically said, we're hanging out, having, drinks, and Jake jumped into a pool.
Really?
Yeah. No, it wasn't sexual. It was like a hangout thing.
I just jumped into a
But
pool.
yeah, you jumped into a pool with like some briefs on.
Was it
That's what
hot
she
out at
said.
least? What was the temperature?
I don't know, man. I don't know. And she was like, "This is how much you listen to him. I have dreams of him." So yeah, because she's like watching you in the background, and seeing you on TV.
How come she's
So
never around when you make any of these calls? Where is she right now?
she's out and about, she's very shy. She has like social anxiety.
How did she
She's
feel
a
about you
pretty
drinking all the time?
she's a pretty woman. Um, she has her own addictions, so you know what I mean? She can't really be too harsh on me when she has her own problem. But
Well, I hope everything's
we
okay.
both work on it. We both try to stay stabilized, and do it briefly. The what's this, the six deadly sins, right? Gluttony. We try to stay away from doing too much. But Jake, I feel like I'm telling you too much, man.
Well, you're volunteering this information, Sean.
Because I like you, Jake.
I like you too, Sean.
But the thing is, like, liking you it's not a one-on-one. It's like I'm one on 800,000.
Well, right now it's 1 on 360 because there's 360 people currently watching live.
360.
Yep.
So, I just hope like this 360 that's on, can relate somehow, with their own personal problems and their own struggles and hurdles, and try to relate to me in some way. But with the Jets, I heard that like the cruise was canceled.
Yeah, no cruise.
You see, I knew it was gonna happen. So I didn't even like buy tickets yet because I was waiting. But
that's why it actually didn't happen. Too many people were waiting.
Because I was waiting, like what's gonna happen.
Hey, can we talk more about the 6 deadly sins? I was under the impression it was 7.
7. I'm sorry, 7. You're right. It was 7. I was on this like 666 thing. But yeah.
6, 7?
All right, Jake, man. I just
6,
wanted to call
7. Come on, Josh, give it to us.
Absolutely not.
All right, thank you.
But Jake, I just wanted to say that, and I hope you had a happy holidays and everything went well. And I love you, bro.
You too, Sean. You have a great day. All right, we'll talk soon.
All right.
All right, more of your calls, but first a few super chats here. Black Gypsy in the raffle for 1. Shout out to you. Also, shout out to Danger Zone. Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah. Out of the Sun, Jake and Asmaniacs. Dane, hope you're doing well, my man. Thanks for the super chat. We got the raffle coming up. A couple more calls. I'm extending the show because I'm planning on this being the only stream today. I already did 4 hours of radio. So if you want more of me, you can listen to the podcast of DiPietro and Rothenberg, and there's 4 more hours of content for you. We did talk some Jets, talk some Knicks, talked about the games yesterday. So if you're traveling and need a podcast, you can listen to the radio show from this morning in podcast form. We just heard from Josh. He didn't want to do the 6-7 thing. I thought that's all you kids do, but I guess not. Hello, Josh.
What's up, Jake?
6-7 is not a thing for your age group?
I mean, it is, but it's so annoying.
You're over it? Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do it. I just wanted to say Tyler Kolek might be the greatest role player to ever hit a Knicks jersey.
Do you regret not being a Knicks fan?
No, because I'm born and raised in Brooklyn, but
yeah, but the Nets aren't Brooklyn's team. They're a Jersey team that's now masquerading as a Brooklyn City team.
Yeah, but I mean, why would it make sense for me to be a Knicks fan if? Okay, so the Nets moved to Brooklyn when I'm 2, right? So
all your life you've only known them.
I don't remember them in New Jersey. So I was still born and raised with this team.
All right, you know what? I do respect your loyalty because you are a passionate fan of them. I just feel for you, man, because you're like in like the I don't know, 10% of the New York area.
I mean, let's not act like the Knicks have been perfect. They haven't won anything since the 70s, unless we're counting in-season tournaments.
Yeah, but they're winning. They're going to the playoffs every year. They won a playoff round and gone further each of the last 3 years than they have the previous year.
Okay. I mean, you're right. I'm not going to sit here and act like the Nets are good right now. They're really not.
I just want you to see some happiness. Your best memory as a Jet fan is the Josh McCown season. I can't deal with this.
My best memory as a Jet fan is winning Thursday night probably because against New England, I thought there was hope. Like Rodgers looked really good in the defense.
Your best memory is last year's home opener.
Yes.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's at least the time when I had the most hope. I mean, but after week 1 of this year, I had a lot of hope actually. I mean, Jets looked great on offense. So
M123 says Josh is the most cynical old man. 15 years old. I love him.
Thanks, M123. But Kolek, like who was it? Anunoby in the corner missed that 3, got kicked right out to Kolek. I knew he was gonna hit it and he had the entire crowd on their feet. So
he was great yesterday. Mitchell Robinson with 4 offensive rebounds in the fourth quarter alone.
I mean, he needs to learn how to shoot some free throws, but other than that, yeah, he was brutal. I mean, I don't know how you're an NBA level player and you shoot free throws like that. I really don't.
He's never going to be good at it. I mean, look at Shaq.
He's never going to be good, but if you put in 6 hours a day, I'd imagine you could get a little bit better.
Sadly, he does, apparently. That's what's crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. My Jets point is that if I was Aaron Glenn, if I was the head coach of this team, I would start Hendon Hooker these next 2 weeks because Brady Cook has been unbelievably bad. 1 touchdown to 6 interceptions. His QBR is 10 or something. He has been brutally bad. And to be honest, I don't want him on this roster next year. I've seen more than enough of this guy. I get that he doesn't have anybody around him, but he's just not an NFL level quarterback. So you took your chance with the UDFA. Now it's time to move on. You don't want Hendon Hooker starting next year. There's no better time to do it than these last 2 games of the year that are against tough opponents. I'd imagine this isn't a move that you're scared is going to win you games if you're worried about the draft position, and get a dual threat quarterback in there who hasn't gotten his shot at the NFL level. And maybe you come away with gold. But if you stick with Brady Cook, you're losing by 4+ touchdowns if both of these teams are playing starters. You know that he cannot handle either of these playoff caliber defenses. I don't even want to watch Brady Cook try and dissect the Patriots defense. I think it's just going to be a disaster if they leave Cook in there. Hendon Hooker would be my starter if I was the coach.
I do think Hooker might start the finale because they shut Fields down. They're not going to go back to Tyrod. It wouldn't shock me if Brady Cook's as bad as he was against the Saints. I think you could see Hendon Hooker start that last game against the Bills.
Well, you've seen 3 real weeks. He's only gotten 2 starts, but he played 3/4 of the Dolphins game. You've seen 3 weeks. He is horrible.
Yes,
why did you not start him this week?
Hooker might not know the playbook by this point. He just got there.
I guess that has to be the only excuse, but let's not act like Brady Cook has thrown a ball beyond the line of scrimmage this entire time.
Look, I'm not trying to defend Brady Cook. He stinks. I just think Hendon Hooker might not be ready to play yet, and that's why.
That's the only reason why, but I would still try and get him out there. Just run a college level offense with these QB sneaks or not QB sneaks, but design quarterback runs. Try and use his mobility to your advantage because you have to find something else better than this. At least Aaron Glenn can go into the offseason.
At this point, though, does it matter though? They can't build on anything at this point. They lost that opportunity.
Of course, it matters. It doesn't. So you're saying these final 2 weeks just don't matter to you?
I don't think there's anything that matters in these last 2 games. The time to build on it was when they were going into that Dolphins game, winning 3 of 5, and you're playing a division opponent at home. And that game told me all I needed to know about this team and the quote unquote foundation the head coach says they're laying this year. They're not. I mean, he already fired Wilkes. You're going to have a brand new defensive scheme, defensive staff. You didn't lay any foundation on that side of the ball, and your offense is one of the worst in the league. So what foundation are we talking about?
But if you're Aaron Glenn right now, what do you want to tell the media? Yeah, we don't really care about these last 2 weeks. His job could still potentially be at risk. I know you don't think it is, but he wants to. He wants to
Josh.
look competent these last 2 weeks.
Then he'd play
Agree and disagree.
Tyrod. He'd play Tyrod if he thought he was going to get fired.
No, but he can't do that. Like that's.
What do you mean he can't do that? Tyrod's healthy. He's the
Like,
number 2 quarterback.
He could do that, but he wants to try and find
Josh,
this diamond.
if Aaron Glenn was worried about being fired, you don't think he would start his best quarterback to give him the best opportunity to try and win? If he's trying to save his job, a win with Tyrod over the Pats or the Bills might help him.
I do think he has job security, but I also still think he wants to. If you go into just finishing this year with Brady Cook and he looks as flat as he has these past 3 weeks, like between that and if you start fresh with a new quarterback, like I get it doesn't look good to have this whole quarterback carousel thing on his resume in literally the first year he's ever been a head coach. That doesn't look great, but the chances of Brady Cook looking like he did these last 3 weeks in the next 2 are pretty high, especially because you're just overall playing better teams. Depends if they're playing starters or not in week 18. That's not for certain yet. But if he starts Hendon Hooker, right? First of all, you have the opportunity to see what a new quarterback on your depth chart can do. Because outside of preseason, he's never playing a starting snap for you. Again, outside of these 2 games. I just don't understand why you wouldn't. If he knows the playbook well.
I don't think it matters, man. I mean, Hendon Hooker might be worse than Brady Cook for all we know.
Certainly, but he could be much better.
There's nothing that the Jets could show you over these last 2 that's going to change the perception of Glenn because they're not winning either of these games.
You have to look relevant in these games. That's what I'll say. Like you can't go out there and put out a Jacksonville, New Orleans level performance.
But really, even if they did, doesn't matter. Like what's changing? 50% of the roster is going to be turning over anyway.
I don't know, but at least you gave a quarterback a shot. Like, let's say you don't.
They did that with Cook. They gave him a shot. What's Hendon Hooker?
Yeah, okay, it hasn't worked, so time to move on. Don't just hang around.
And they're better off losing at this point anyway. There's nothing Aaron Glenn could build on when he's already fired Wilkes and they had the Dolphin performance and then followed that up with Jacksonville. That's all I needed to see. It's over.
Again, making a quarterback change at this point does not beat either of these 2 teams. It depends. I don't even think Hendon Hooker against all backups and third stringers against the Bills comes close to winning the game.
They're not going to win. I mean,
they're not going to win.
This line could be
not
20.
What we have to worry about.
This line could be closer to 20, and I still would probably bet the Patriots.
What is it right now?
It's 13.5.
Yeah, they'll win by more than 2 touchdowns.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, if we thought they couldn't keep it within 2 touchdowns of the Saints and they couldn't keep it within 2 touchdowns of some of these other teams this year, they couldn't beat the Broncos that game. I mean, there is so much wrong with this team.
Well, Josh, I'll tell you it gets better, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it will. Anyways, Jake, that's not your fault, but thank you. Appreciate it. Congrats to your Knicks on a big win. And let's go, Jets. Let's see some sort of improvement this week. Don't just get killed again.
Ladies and gentlemen, our favorite Brooklyn resident, Josh.
Jets, Jets.
All right, who's ready for a weekly raffle for 3 signed items? Nick Mangold signed football, Sack Exchange signed football, Vinny T jersey. It is all on the line. Josh, if you enter the raffle, we'll get you a Hendon Hooker signed something because you seem to think he's God's gift to the quarterback. I'm just kidding. Dave says Glenn is building an 8-26 record through next year. So they finished 3-14, and then they went 5-12 without bad at math, but yeah, well, would that be 8-26? Oof. Frankie V's cousin, Jet Nation, says, Jake, if the Jets go 6-11 next year, what do you think the chances of Glenn being fired are? I think it will depend on what it looks like. Are they showing improvement? Like, can we point to a young quarterback that is, the arrows pointed up at the end of that year? That to me is what it comes down to. Like, let's say we'll use Mendoza as the example. Let's say they start the year with Marcus Mariota as the quarterback. They don't win a lot of games, but they go to Fernando Mendoza at some point or Dante Moore, and there's some promise from that young QB, and they win a couple of games. Well, then I think there's a path for Glenn and Muji to say to Woody Johnson, we got our QB. We got the growing pains out of the way. He showed some signs. Now we supplement the team around him, and we're ready to take that next step and win in year 3. I think that would be the pitch. 6 is close, though, man. I think they got to be better than that for Glenn to definitely be back. They got to win at least 7 games. At least. Again, Robert Saleh in his second year with 3 different crap quarterbacks had the Jets at one point at 6-3 and 7-4. And Saleh wasn't a good head coach. But are the Jets ever going to get to at least a 6-3 start with Aaron Glenn? At least the Jets were fake good for half that year. We had hope for a year. That was the most fun I've ever had doing the show when they won those 5 games in a row. As far as doing the show in season, the most fun I've ever had doing the show was after they got Rodgers and all the hype leading into training camp and that summer with Hard Knocks. That was the most fun it ever was doing the show. But the most fun I've ever had in season during the show was that 5-week stretch where they won 5 straight. Mike Dems, another gifted membership. Shout out to you, Mike. You're in the raffle for 1. All right, last call for gifted memberships here. Last call for channel memberships. 2 a.m. Burrito. I don't know if I shouted you out, but I got you down in here as well. Appreciate it. Again, when you enter the raffle, you also are entered in next week's raffle for the prize of a signed Revis jersey, Sack Exchange signed, or excuse me, Don Maynard signed football, and a Joe Klecko signed jersey. Those are the prizes. Tank for Ty says Mendoza ain't the guy. Do we know that, though? Tank for Ty? You're going to tell me Ty Simpson is. How do we know? Leon says 6-11 would save Glenn's job if a young QB is pulling a dart. I think I would agree because I don't think anybody wants to fire him again. Now, look, things change, but that's kind of how I feel. Jordan says Glenn needs to improve everything as a head coach. He hasn't shown anything. Tough to argue with that. Again, what does Aaron Glenn do well as a head coach? What are his strengths? What is the thing we hang our hat on? That's my question. I'm not saying it to be rude or be a dick. Just like, if for those who believe in Glenn, what gives you that belief? I'm still trying to understand why some feel that way. Jordan says, Jake, are you still at Mendoza at QB1? Am I? Yes, I prefer him over any of the quarterbacks at this point, but I also do like Dante Moore, and I also like Ty Simpson. I'm not going to say they can't be good. I'd be fine with any of them. I just hope they get it right. I'd prefer Mendoza, though. The reason why I like Mendoza is I like his size. I think he's the prototypical size, right? 6'5". And the game started, I think, matters. I like the guy. Give me the guy with the highest floor. I don't need the highest ceiling because I don't trust the Jets to develop a guy. So give me the guy that is no one's bust-proof. Because it's a risk no matter who you take, right? I mean, they said Trevor Lawrence is generational. It took 3 coaches in 5 years for us to finally start to see him play like a top quarterback in the league. Right? So there's no perfect prospect. But I think Mendoza is a guy that it's perfectly logical to bet on him at the top of the draft. He checks off a lot of what Aaron Glenn's mentor, Bill Parcells, would want in a QB. Be a 3-year starter. Now, Parcells used to say start at least 30 college games, but they've adjusted that number now for the modern college league because guys just don't play that many games now. So scouts look at 25 as the number. Start at least 25 games, win at least 23 games, complete at least 60% of your passes, have a touchdown ratio 2-1. Mendoza checks off all those boxes, which is why he's my QB1. I think he's got the highest floor, but I like Moore. And I like Simpson. I just worry about any of those guys becoming Jets, if we're being honest. Don't let go of that rope,
Just don't let go of the rope.
Hopefully you're not choking out one of these quarterbacks next year. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a very special raffle. It's a raffle for not 1, not 2, but 3 signed Jet items. Folks, get ready because it's time.
Pew, pew, pew. Abracadoodle.
Beast, are we ready for the Wheel of Champions?
It is time. Wait, let me bring my guy here.
Oh yeah, it's Christmas time, folks. Let's get down to it because it is time. It's Christmas time, and I know it's that time of the year where we can have that eggnog and some Slim Jims and talk about the old times. But you know what? We don't got much time because Jake's very tired. He's after doing 4 hours of radio at ESPN New York. Let's get down to the Jake Asman Wheel of Champs. Let's get you know what to do now. Dig it.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Well done, Macho Man Beast. Well done, ladies and gentlemen, the Wheel of Champions. Couple last-second memberships that have been added, or people that qualified, I should say, for the raffle. Snowball, if Harbaugh becomes available, is Glenn's job at risk? I will say no, but it should be. Right? If Woody could fire Aaron Glenn and actually get John Harbaugh to want to come here, you do that move 10 out of 10 times. I don't think Woody would do it. I don't think he'd pay that money, and I don't think he would. His ego would allow him to do it. If I owned the Jets and that happened, yeah, John Harbaugh would be the Jet head coach 5 minutes after he got fired. Papa Jet in the raffle for one. Let me put you in, Papa. Always appreciate your support, my man. Hope you had a great Christmas. Papa Jet is in for one. Let me copy and paste his name here. All right. Good luck to everybody, but only 3 can win today. That's because it's a weekly raffle. If you win, you got to email me, asmanjake@gmail.com, your name and address, so we know where to send your signed items to. Our top prize today is a Nick Mangold football. Prize 2 is a signed football by each member of your New York Sack Exchange. Prize 3 is a signed Vinny Testaverde jersey. Ladies and gentlemen, to the Wheel of Champions we go. We'll start with the Vinny T jersey. Our first winner in our weekly raffle series is no way. Joe blew it. This man is on quite the roll. He won a Jets jersey on the show the other day. Joe, by the way, went with Nick Mangold. It's a great choice. And now Joe Blewett has won a signed Vinny T jersey. Not too shabby for the film guru himself. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the second prize in the raffle, which is an autographed football by all 4 members of the legendary New York Sack Exchange. Ladies and gentlemen, winner number 2 this week is Felix Campos. Felix, congratulations, my man. One of the all-time greats. Felix is awesome. Got to meet him in person at the Yankee outing that we did back in June. Congrats. Sack Exchange ball is Felix's. Hell yeah. All right, one last winner. Ladies and gentlemen, the late, great Nick Mangold, an autographed football. We spin the wheel one final time. Good luck to all. Your winner is the big fella. Can you get a better winner than the big fella for an amazing prize? From one big fella to another, because you know big fella would be on the Jet offensive line with Nick Mangold and Brick if he were a player. Congrats to the big fella. He's the winner. Let's go. Hit the Jet chant for our 3 winners. Outstanding. Again, Vinny T signed jersey, Joe Blewett, Sack Exchange signed football, Felix, Nick Mangold signed football, the big fella. Congrats to our winners. If you entered the raffle today, you are already in for next week's raffle. It's our 55th raffle. We've officially been doing these things for a year, so thank you to the Asmaniacs for making this a thing. We started it last December as like holiday season, Jets suck. Let's do some giveaways. I know Boy Green was doing raffles on this show, so I thought, hey, let's try it on this show. It would be a good idea. So that's where the inspiration originally came from, and we've been doing it year round. We do a prize on every single show at this point for the most part. Or if we don't do it on a single show, we combine 2 shows together if it's a bigger prize. So you guys are awesome. Next week, we're going to give away a Revis signed jersey, Don Maynard signed football, and last but certainly not least, a signed Joe Klecko Hall of Fame inscription jersey. So again, thank you guys for your continuous support. The show would not be possible without you because this team stinks. So if you're still watching a show about a team that stinks, truly matters. Truly means something. You guys are the best. We should be back for a full post game on Sunday. I'm doing radio Sunday morning from 8 to noon. So tune in then. And then we'll be live for 2 to 3 hours after Jets Pats on Sunday. Again, Merry Christmas. Hope all of you had a wonderful holiday yesterday. Happy New Year. All that stuff you say this time of year. And we will talk to you Sunday for the post game show. Until then, I leave you with this. Go Jets. So are you not rooting for the U.S. in the Olympics?
I'm Puerto Rican. It'd be sacrilegious. I mean, I have
What do you mean? You live in the United States of America. You were born in this country, correct?
Yeah, but my family is from Puerto Rico, so I'm rooting.
You can't root for both?
No.
You wouldn't root for the U.S.?
I'm rooting for the Puerto Rico in the Olympics right now.
Okay, but what if the U.S. is in an event and Puerto Rico's not? Who are you rooting for?
I guess, yeah, okay. I guess if the Puerto Ricans don't have a dog in the fight, then okay.
Are you a communist, man?
No.
Well, it kind of sounds like you are if you're not rooting for the United States.
If the Puerto Ricans don't have a dog in the fight, then sure, I'll root for the U.S.
Okay, Team USA is in the gold medal basketball game. Puerto Rico's already been eliminated. Who are you rooting for? They're playing Germany.
Fine, I'll root for the U.S.
What do you mean fine? You're acting like it's a chore to root for the country you were born in. You've been to Puerto Rico once.
All right, can we just get back to football?
We cannot. We need to focus in on the fact you might be a communist.
I'm not a...
Give me the pledge. Let's do a little pledge and we'll get back to football.
All right, fine.
All right. Come on, give it to us.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to this republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Happy now? USA.
That was tough. Pittsburgh Mike writes in, which flag did Aaron Rodgers run onto the field with again? Remind me. The one on my hat. USA. USA. Chef Kevin says that's worse than Allen's Jet chant. I won't lie. V-Man's USA chant was Allen level bad.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
You get the fuck out.
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane. And if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go Jets.